What's good, people? Happy Sunday night. It is the night after one of the most disappointing nights in combat sports history. There's a lot to get through, there's a lot to talk about. I'm going to try and hang out for about 2 hours or so. Hope you've had a great weekend. Hope you made bagfuls of cash. I suspect some of you didn't, but we're going to talk about all of it, what the implications are for this card, what the implications are going forward, how we enjoyed the card in general. Not that any of us really did, apart from certain people, and we know who those are. Looking forward to talking about it. Bro kept us waiting. Kept you waiting, huh? Nah, I just pre-planned the stream, bro. Just pre-planned it. How you doing, XO Raider? What's good, man? But I kept you waiting. It's like if I invited you to dinner at 9 o'clock and then you turned up at 7 and you're like, you kept me waiting, bro. That's not how life works in general. How you doing, Tiff? Did you manage to get on last night? I tried to look out for your live stream, but I didn't see anything pop up. So hopefully that is still in the works. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm looking forward to talking about this one. In the same way that I look forward to those long fucking trips to the clinic. You know what I'm saying? Frankie, my white iron brother. Good day. No, I am not part of the Iron Brotherhood. Nor do I have any association or affiliation with that particular group. I've got hair, for a start. The fact that I choose not to show my chest on camera is beside the point. I didn't know it was. It was around 3 a.m. and I just couldn't do it. Fair enough. There's the best time to do it is when it feels like just right. You wait for that exact moment when you're in the mood, and then you go. The amount of times I've done live streams where I'm not in the mood whatsoever has been staggering. I tend to just pick days that I'm going to do and then roll with it. Some days I've got the energy to do so. Sometimes I don't. And naturally, it has very, very mixed results. But Wednesday, Giuliano wants me to do a live together. I won't have the kids in the afternoon, so I'm going to do that. It will be around 6 p.m. for me. It should be interesting to see our Genti interacting with a live in-person female. I think that would be very interesting for all the viewers involved. I watched the stream with you and I, and what were your thoughts having gone back and looked it over? Frankie and I ran the Iron Brotherhood in the UK. And I saw the comments. So what were your general reflections? I thought they were generally quite positive. I thought. Unfortunately, JDM lost. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I made a lot of money last night, and I've never felt so empty in my life. I felt deflated. I felt sad. I felt disappointed. I felt like there was no hope for the future. And then I got to really thinking. I really deeped it. And I still have hope, but we'll get to that. The faces you make when I talk is pretty funny. I can't help myself. I think there's something wrong with me. I'm very expressive in my face. Part of it was me trying to completely digest everything that was going on. Most were positive. There were some that were not, but mostly were. So I was happy. You'll generally get that. Most, like I said, there are scumbags on the internet, but the majority of us know how to behave when we're in the company of the opposite sex. We'll put it that way. And some of us can't. And that became very, very obvious. They should have I know they've got a demographic count on YouTube. They have gender, they have geography. We need to start getting incel and virgin demographics as well, because there was definitely a lot of that going on. And my community is chock full of both. Apparently, the accusations that I've been getting that I do have both are unfortunately true. And none of that was more evident than in that particular stream. Hasbulla versus Francis Ngannou, who wins? I think we need to find out, personally. I think we need to find out. So let's get that made as soon as possible. 14 rounds or just one long round with no breaks would be great. You can't see any positivity. We might get Gary versus Makachev. We might get it, but we won't get it immediately. I'm interested in seeing what people have to say, to be honest. But thank you for having me. Really, I adore you. I appreciate you. Can come on anytime you want. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was nice having a female perspective, and it was nice talking about adult things. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to use voice text. Hope everyone's having a good day. How you doing, Kerry? Shout out to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Damn, I'm unmodded. What the fuck happened? So basically what's been happening here is I'm going to do an overhaul of the channel over the next few weeks, because basically my banned list has been getting out of control, and there have been complaints from certain users that they're getting kicked out for no reason. So I'm trying to work out exactly who's doing it. So this is basically a live test. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to figure out who's been banning people for no reason and what's been going on, because this is supposed to be like a free forum where people can talk. I understand that in the channel, sometimes people who come in who are basically trolling and need to get kicked to the curb, and I totally understand that. But there's a limit to that. I want it to be very much open, but don't see it as a personal slight. Everyone's going to get tested over the next few weeks, because unfortunately I can't see who's doing it on my end. So I need to work things out. I'm also gonna cut down on the amount of managing mods and try to manage my channel by myself a little bit better in terms of what banned words are being permitted and or not being permitted and so on. Well, I don't kick people out ever. I think, like I said, there's a time and a place for kicking people to the curb. And it's usually when people are just coming in to be, I don't even mind if people are being a bit disgusting or like, giving opinions that I don't agree with, if they're being a bit racist or homophobic or sexist or whatever, because I will address those things. However, there are certain times when it's like people get into arguments with other people and then they're kicking people out, and that's not what I want. So I need to be I need to be a little bit more strict in how I'm handling the channel. I've been letting other people do it for too long, and shout out to those people who have been looking after the channel. I'm never going to learn if I don't take more of an active participation myself. I feel like I'm stepping on people's toes doing that. The only time I'll ban someone is if they're spamming the N word. I think spamming in general is a problem because it stops people from commenting and taking part in the chat, which is obviously what we don't want either. If people are just coming in on a whim, they're doom scrolling and they're coming in to take the piss, there's an amount of limit I'm willing to accept on that as well. So I can go, don't ban me. I will not ban you, Jesse. I will not ban you. I've been banning people for reasons. Westy, you are not the problem. We've had conversations about this multiple times. The managing mod thing is just a decision that I've made myself in taking more of an active role in handling my own channel business. So I can go into the setting. Yeah, so you can go into the settings and you can ban certain words. YouTube will usually do stuff like that for you. So if the N word is, there are a certain list of banned words, I think, on YouTube that when people try to drop into the chat, they either don't show up. I don't think they get automatically kicked out. I don't think that's something they do, but their comments just don't appear. But there's other words you might not be too fond of that you might want banned. I personally don't want that on my channel, but it is what it is. This is the first time hearing. I'm rarely in the chat. It's always my ears, but I will hold this mod status dear to my heart. It's like I said, it's just I want people who are modded to have the best interests of the channel at heart. At the end of the day, this is not a profitable situation. It's not about money. It's about creating a situation where everyone's part of a community and comfortable being here. How you doing, Adolfo, by the way? Can we ban any fans of Paddy Pimblett or Sean? Any and every Sean. I might have to take that into consideration. I can understand why you might feel like that could be a channel movement. That could be a channel measure moving forward. I saw Tiffany on another channel's chat. She has taken over YouTube. Agent Smith has arrived. It's over, guys. Agent Tiffany, yeah? They don't appear for anybody except for you, 100% Big Boss. So certain words that get dropped in naturally just you can see them, but nobody else can. So that's another thing that I wanted to address as well, because sometimes people think I'm just blanket ignoring people's chats. I never do that. Sometimes I just can't see them, and the top message chat thing is a problem as well. So that's why I love listening. Such good diversity. I want people comfortable coming here, no matter what their opinions are. As long as they're not here to just fuck the conversation up and spam so that other people can't talk, that's going to be the limit for me. Because at the end of the day, when I'm saying, I don't care how racist you are, I don't care how sexist you are, I don't care what your political views are, you can say whatever the fuck you want in here, but I will then take that opportunity to address those things and tell you if I agree or disagree with those things or not. And I want to have the opportunity to do that. I don't want it to be a case of the decision being made for me. This is supposed to be an open platform. Are you streaming for a long time? I'm planning on doing like 2 hours, something like that. We'll see how it goes. I've had a bit of a fucked up weekend, so yeah, my bad. I'll try not to be bro. You're fine. I've got no issues with you. Like I said, it's the part of the problem as well is I think I modded far too many people in a short space of time, so I can't figure out why the channel's reacting the way that it is. And I'm getting a lot of complaints from people on social media saying stuff like, "Oh man, I got kicked out for no reason. What's going on?" And I'm there like, "What? Like, is Naruto a good show? I liked it. I prefer Shippuden, but you kind of have to watch don't watch Boruto though. Watching the stream is like therapy, hanging out with the boys. That's exactly what it should be like. It should be a comfortable place where people can come and talk some shit, um, but also feel part of something. That's what it should be about. I don't want it to become like a toxic cesspool. And to be perfectly honest, I feel like if we carry on in the same vein that we are, it can go in both directions. It can either become a absolute shithole where I get trolled all day for being trans, which I'm not, by the way. Not that there's anything. Well, I'm not going to say not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm going to leave that open to debate. But I don't want people. I don't want it to become a thing where the chat is just riddled with fucking bullshit either. So I'm trying to find that line. You know, is it true that you prefer comments to be written in uppercase because it's easier for your eyes? I don't mind. Again, I don't mind it. Like, it does make it easier for me to read 100%, especially when I'm reading things at a million miles an hour. But I'm not going to tell everyone to just write in caps either. Like, it's entirely what your preference is. I somehow managed to get through it anyway. Black people. Dr. Eggman just goes black people. Yeah, they're nice people. I would just say hello and stuff. That's all. They're very nice, and I like nice people. You can't have too many nice or good people in your life. You were talking about this on the stream the other day when you said your circle's very small. And I've got like loads of friends from my past, like loads that I talk to every now and then, but my inner circle is very small. And I think like that's what happens when you get older. You kind of gradually like get rid of the assholes. Someone mentioned, oh, by the way, yeah. Somebody mentioned Ethan Ewing, Westy. What a fucking performance. And I think that only happened because Wellmaker, I think somebody mentioned that he was there to aura farm. I think it might have been Guru. 100%. And it shows why in a fight you cannot fucking do that, especially when you haven't proved yourself yet. Tiff, we are officially friends. I'm afraid you'll have the power to ban me from my own house. Yeah, that's where things are going. I'm tired of UFC posting AI videos of Islam winning. We all saw JDM KO slam Islam. That's what I saw. That's what I was jerking off to last night. I wasn't even that a lot of I want to address this first. So Islam Makhachev was getting a lot of hate for the lack of significant strikes and whatnot, and how boring the fight was. I have the completely opposite opinion. Again, I'm going to take the same view of Madalena as I did Dricus du Plessis. He didn't stop what was happening to him. Islam took the path of least resistance. We saw what happened in the third round when Islam stood on the feet for a little bit and got caught a couple of times. He did what he had to do to win the fight. It was within the rule set. And I feel like Jack Della Maddalena was too overawed by him. He was almost, I think he spent too much of his camp focusing on being in defensive positions and didn't apply the game that he should have done. But his leg did get chewed up. He did get pieced up a little bit. It was a great performance from Islam Makhachev. And now for me, he's on GOAT Mountain. He replaces Anderson Silva. He's now 4th in the GOAT list. Am I overjoyed that he won the fight? No. I wanted Jack Della Maddalena to win. I was very honest about that. I made my fucking money on the fact that he didn't, though. Anyway, enough rambling. Frankie, what's next for Erin Blanchfield? There's no point in putting her against Valentina Shevchenko because she'll get battered. I would probably do her and Natalia Silva. You missed a lot of comments, Frankie. That's all. Sometimes it has to be done. Rambler's got to ramble. Frankie, did you change your bet yesterday or did the inbred? So basically, I made like $400 on the Ben fight versus Eubank because I bet on him to win straight up, and then I withdrew my bet on Jack Della Maddalena about an hour before the fight. I had 250 on him, And then I had 2 parlays. One of them had Wellmaker in it, and the other one, let me just double check what I did. Give me a second, boys. So I made $200 on. I had a quadruple of Erin Blanchfield, Gregory Rodriguez, Carlos Praez, and I had the main event with Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev to make it to a third round. I bet $50 and made 250. So I made about 200. So I came out with like, I think it was about 550, which is not bad. And it made up for all the bets that I've lost in the last 6-7 weeks, because I was on a hell of a bad fucking streak. Wellmaker was acting like a KO was inevitable. He was aura farming from the start, and he got fucking clipped. And rightfully, he got just out technicaled. Thinking your Goku is perfectly natural. I know perfectly normal people that act like they're Goku in real life. I'm having a pretty fucking awful day, so I'm gonna take a walk outside, but I'll stay on the stream. Hope you're feeling better soon. Sometimes a walk is all we need to clear the head. Frankie, just how good is Pantoja? Pantoja is outstanding. Unfortunately, he's never going to be considered the flyweight GOAT because Mighty Mouse exists. However, he last night was a valuable lesson in where people should stay in their lane. So I think if Pantoja can win 3 or 4 more fights, which is probably unlikely, he enters that conversation of being a flyweight GOAT. But he's sensational. And yesterday again was a reminder of why he should stay in his lane. People call GSP risk averse while respecting his ability. GSP is a better version of Islam Makhachev, in my opinion. But they both are very comparable in how they approach fights. On paper, Makhachev is the GOAT. I don't really agree with that, but there's arguments to be made for it. There is arguments to be made for it. I think if you have John Jones, Mighty Mouse, GSP, and Islam in your 4, and they're in any way interchangeable, I think it kind of comes down to what your preferences are in someone who's a GOAT level fighter. It literally comes down to your opinion. I can't tell you you're wrong if you've got any of those 4. If you start talking about Habib or Hamzat, then you're retarded. And I mean retarded in that you're brain dead. I don't mean people who have like educational needs or whatever. It's very different. I use the R word restricted for those people either who don't think things through, just to be clear. I think Chevy was the only fight I picked right. I got the entire main card right, apart from Benil Dariush, pretty much. I said Islam was going to win a close decision. And I have to admit, that was a flip-flop, but it was before the event started. So I get credit in the bank for that one. I said that Whaley was going to be too small. That proved to be the case. I said that Prates was going to knock out Leon Edwards. Also was the case. I can't remember the other fights. But the only one I got wrong from the main event was Benil Dariush, who got fucking sent to hell. Let's be honest. I'd still have Anderson over Islam. Anderson was on his 7th title defense in his 9th fight, while Islam fought Bobby Green in his. And this is where the argument comes into it. The reason why I push Islam a little bit ahead of Anderson Silva, first of all, the caveat, the latter part of Anderson Silva's career was shocking. Secondly, he also has that dark mark against his record where he did fail PEDs. But it's also as well like the level, I don't know, like the level of competition was as good, but he wasn't a 2-weight world champion, and Islam's got that to his name. He's done very well at lightweight now, and now he's beat somebody who was on a fucking, hadn't lost in 10 years at welterweight in Jack Della Maddalena, who he made look very, very average. So I think that's what edges him ahead for me. And for me, modern MMA is far more sophisticated than it was back then, with the nutrition, with the amount of sophistication into the training and all that. That's why I'd have Islam a little bit ahead. What fight was the most entertaining on the main card? Wow. Let me just double check what was on it, because I would say it was probably Morales and Sean Brady, for as short as it was. No, I'd say Leon Edwards and Prates, because Leon Edwards was actually looking good for that first round. And it was looking for all Prates fans like it was going to be a bad night at the office for him, but he got it done. Marab and Pantoja are the locks of the century, just like Islam and Valentino. Well, I completely agree with that. I think Marab does the exact same thing to Piotr Jan that he did in the first fight, pretty much. And I think Pantoja absolutely beats the fuck out of Joshua Van, takes him down and beats him up. I think he beats him by the second round. It might be crazy, but I think Ian Gary might be a nightmare for anyone in the division. He has the highest fight IQ. Ian Gary's in the conversation. The reason why I didn't put his name up there yet is because he does have a fight scheduled, as far as I'm aware. And that's the same reason why I didn't put Shavkat there, because he's been so inactive. Whaley got outskilled and outsized. I don't think she got outskilled. I think she got completely outsized. She couldn't close the distance. Her arms looked fucking tiny in there, tinier than ever. And there was no path to victory for her. She was just way too small. They looked like they were 2 weight classes apart, let alone one. Valentina looked massive in there, and I knew that would be a problem. I don't think Whaley's skill set can be called into question. If Whaley was Shevchenko's size, but she's not. Shevchenko is the superior mixed martial artist overall. You have to put it that way. But size was a massive factor about it. Frankie, drop a new story from your whoring days. You want that for a Sunday? Yeah, we can get into that a little bit later. How you doing, Euro? I liked with my tip. Thank you very much. Any like would be appreciated, tip or otherwise. A couple of defenses at welterweight, he could surpass Silva. That's what comes into question about what comes next, because he's already saying Kamaru's name, which is fucking disgraceful. In my mind, it should be Morales. It should be if Prates wins another one, or if Gary wins another one, or I don't think Ilya should be even entering the conversation, because if Ilya goes up to 170 to fight him, he's going to get fucking pancaked. So I'm standing by my prediction on that one as well. If Ilya can convince Islam to come back down to 155, which we know that he won't, I think Ilya beats him at 155 still, because Makhachev does look more vulnerable there. But at 170, I only see one man potentially beating him from who's left. And based on what I saw from Morales last night, it could be him. Valentina would be champ at 135 right now if she tried. Valentina would have the same problem against Kayla Harrison as Whaley had against her. Kayla Harrison is fucking huge. And Amanda Nunes already showed that the size does matter in that situation. I had a football match today. I won 4-1. Nice one, bro. Football is such a fun game to play. I know it can be boring as fuck to watch, and some of you Americans don't understand it, but playing football is an amazing experience. Whaley, is the most skilled in flyweight, but she's been pieced up on the feet before. She couldn't even touch Valentina, and her grappling, I think it comes down purely to the size. The way that because the things that were working against Whaley didn't work with smaller fighters. You know, the kind of bear hugging and just dragging her down to the floor. Fighters that are Whaley's size or even slightly bigger have not been able to do that to her. And nothing was working. It felt like it was over a couple minutes in. Yo, Frankie, have you seen the KOTS fights? King of the Streets. I've seen some of them. I'm not like a big fan, but I think I'm all for organizations like this until someone gets fucking killed, which is inevitably going to happen. Islam should defend against Kayla Harrison at the White House with Ivanka Trump as the ring girl. That's interesting. I mean, the White House could end up turning into farcical shit like that. I think Valentina is just levels above Whaley in the striking. I can understand why you might see it that way, but when you've got such a significant reach as she does, and is just so much bigger, it's really hard to tell. I think Whaley is amazing, but she was just too outsized. Frankie, stop ignoring me. My ego is getting bruised. I'm not ignoring you, bro. By the way, when people talk to other people in the chat, I try to ignore those because then I'm just getting involved in the conversation. It's almost nothing to do with the size, in my opinion. I think it had everything to do with the size. Again, I can see why you might have a different opinion, but I felt like the size was so extreme that Whaley could impose none of her game plan on her. Then multiple body shots were devastating. They were. She could just literally pick at range, wait for her to come in, and then as soon as she got in, she could just close in on her and dunk her down. I don't think we got a skill gap answer, but it looked like it was a skill gap answer. Me personally, I felt like the size had everything to do with it because I've been following Whaley's career for years and years and years now, and I've seen what she's capable of. It's not so much the inch though; it's more the reach and size, and she just looked massive in there. Valentina's not 5'5", is she? And do you really believe? I mean, you could physically see them standing next to each other. Shevchenko is 3-4 inches taller. You can never trust those UFC stats. I don't even believe that Whaley's 5'4". She's fucking tiny. Not gonna lie, UFC kind of sucks. Bring back Pride. Yeah, I think, yeah, well, that's a conversation for another day. Size did have a part, though. I think it had a major part. I think obviously you could say they're definitely comparable skill wise. I'm not saying that Whaley is more skilled than Valentina. I'm saying that the size was the difference. That's more what I mean. But we did obviously remember, we were reminded very, very strongly that Shevchenko is as skilled as they come and as well rounded as they come. For people that fucking forgot. I noticed people were saying I was that Chinese MMA fighter when we were on together. That was weird. You look nothing like Wei Li Chang. Nothing like her. John Jones backed down because of Tom Aspinall's size, to be fair. Yeah. We all know that John Jones would be intimidated by such things. How about the speed? I think the speed was completely nullified because Whaley was stuck between a rock and a hard place. She couldn't stay at distance because Valentina was picking her off, and she couldn't get in close because all Valentina had to do was grab her and drag her down. Whaley's fought bigger girls, like who? The only one who she's fought who's comparable in size is what's her face? Patchy Mix's husband. What's her name again? Tatiana Suarez. And Tatiana Suarez is shit. Tatiana Suarez cannot be. I'm saying it's a combination of both. I would say that their skill set, Shevchenko's and Weili's, are very comparable. You can argue that Shevchenko's a better mixed martial artist, which I said at the top of this program. But I think the size was the deciding factor, and that's what I saw. I remember Aspinall openly calling out John Jones. John Jones already admitted that he fucked Dana over and said he was going to fight and then didn't. So that closes it as far as I'm concerned. Joanna, Rose, Suarez. But I mean, they don't have the same thickness to them. We saw what Joanna was like. Joanna was a strawweight. Rose was a strawweight coming up. Valentina could never make strawweight. Valentina was a slightly undersized bantamweight that is perfect for flyweight. Whaley was always going to have this problem. I would say that I would say that Tiff and Whaley are completely different. It's a completely different. I don't want to start judging. Well, I judge women all the time. That's completely incorrect. But different strokes for different folks is what I'd say. It's kind of incomparable. By the way, guys, if you could remember to like the stream, I'd really appreciate it. Whaley is a baddie. Yeah, Whaley, I wouldn't quite call her a baddie, but she gets a stick or two. Ian Gary fights Bilal next week. That's it. Ian Gary fights. I completely forgot. That's who. If Ian Gary beats the fuck out of Bilal Muhammad, he enters that conversation. But I expect that to be a tough fight for Ian Gary. I do think he wins, but I think it will be tough. Weili Tang, the Chinese girl. Weili, what? Valentina ragdolled Andrade too, but look what Weili did to her. Andrade is not as skilled though as Weili, and that's been proven. And Andrade can make strawweight. She made strawweight for the majority of her career. I do have a personality as well. That's true. That should be taken into consideration. Holly and Manon are big girls too, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, Weili didn't fight either of those girls. I'm saying for Shevchenko, the skill set and the size are both there. So, is it bad that I'm physically and mentally attracted to female MMA fighters? I mean, it's something you definitely have to ask yourself about because it's certainly a little bit suspicious. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I try not to make fun of people's preferences too much, especially as I have a very specific demographic myself. But like what you like, innit? Just own it. Don't be ashamed of it, is what I'm saying. This chat's finally talking about MMA instead of their fetishes. The thing is, Batman, yeah. Last night's card wasn't the best of cards in the world, don't get me wrong, in terms of entertainment. There were some entertaining moments, but the storylines that is created have given talking points for us to discuss. Whereas on a regular day, talking about titties and arse is about all we've got. And fetishes is all we've got. Because MMA has been that boring at times. I'd like to see a promotion that just has featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight divisions. How do you think that would play out? Ian Gary has a much better takedown defense than JDM, and he strikes from the outside. I don't think JDM's takedown defense is bad. I think his ability to get up is the problem, and we're not sure if Ian Gary can do the same thing. I think the only person right now, based on the eye test, I can see that could potentially beat Islam Makhachev. I've got two people that could potentially do it. It would be Shavkat and it would be Michael Morales. Because Michael Morales seems to have a very high IQ. He learns fast. He's fucking massive for the division. He's got great takedown defense, and he's got that nuke power. I know he's only shown it in his last couple of fights, but chinning out Sean Brady and who is it? Gilbert Burns. He's got nuke power in his hands. I think he's the most well-rounded and well-sized guy that could possibly take on. I don't like how I said that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think we will discuss about MMA more than women's vaginas and titties. The night is young. That's why I feel bad coming in here. I feel like I distract from the main topic. No, I mean, we're obviously, the focal point is obviously what happened last night. But to be fair, Sundays are kind of known for this. We talk about everything. I need to learn MMA shit. Give it a chance. You might actually enjoy it. Most females I know that get to start watching MMA, the fighting is only a small part of it. It's the personalities and the storylines that branch off from it and make it amazing. I saw Machua ask me to crochet titties like 44 times. I thought it was more than 44. I did see it out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, there's no way I can bring this up in a conversation with you without derailing what we were talking about. So I just left it alone. I brought it up like very, very briefly, like I mentioned it, but then I was just as quick to kind of move on. I meant we haven't Islam fight a person with a lot of, we haven't seen Islam fight a person with a lot of power. I mean, JDM does have power. It's not nuke power, but he can definitely hurt you with his hands accumulatively. I think we need somebody who's got that fucking nuke in their hands, as Guru so succinctly put it. Do you think there will ever be an all women's MMA ran MMA promotion with only women's fighters? I mean, if you want to lose money, then they can give that a try. But I think somebody has to start it. I think the UFC should do that shit. Just like divide the cards. I think some women, but the thing is, yeah, I feel like it's a really weird time to say this because women's MMA fights have actually been really good this year. I feel like we can't really rag on them. We've had some really good fights this year. Don't ask me to name them. What a gentleman. Nah, I was just cringing from embarrassment, to be honest. It wasn't even a gentleman thing. It was like, shit, man, how do I wanted to engage the chat in the conversation, but I was like, how do I like subtly slip in crochet titties? It's a hard thing to bring up. Very hard thing to flow into naturally, you know. Yeah, Invicta has been around for ages. Yeah. I mean, people have made a go of it, organizations have made a go of it. I think it's a niche that could work. But the thing is, yeah, we've got like I said, we've got that backyard fucking MMA stuff that's going on. We've got karate combat's making waves now, bare knuckles making waves. There's alternatives as combat fans, and that's what we really need. We need fucking multiple options. Frankie, can we do a male MMA fighters versus women MMA fighters? I mean, in what sense? You mean you want them to get in there and fight? We could do it like a 2-on-1 situation. I believe the only person that could stop Islam is Ronda Rousey. Due to his religion, he can't touch other women. That might be what we have to resort to. The thing is, yeah, obviously him beating JDM is bad for all of us who don't want inactive champions. I almost said Dagestani champions, but I'm going to hold off from that because that's not really what I mean. But I saw enough last night to say that there are people that could trouble Makhachev. And I feel like we haven't seen Shavkat for a while. He could potentially do it. I don't think Ian Gary's the guy to do it, but he's constantly learning and improving. So who knows? I think Michael Morales is the best chance we've got right now. And again, we're going to have to wait another 6 months or so or longer for Islam to appear again. So we might not find out for a while. The rest of the division is going to find out what it's like having Islam Makhachev in their division. It's not as bad as Hamzat, don't get me wrong, but somehow in a fucking MMA community, it's extremely out of my element. You'll find you learn very, very quickly. Nobody watches it because women's MMA sucks. It sucks on the whole, but we have to give our flowers to women's MMA fighters this year. They've been mostly doing their thing. How you doing, Paradox? Like the fucking stream, guys. Do your boy a favor. Most of the time, male sports are watched more than women's sports in every single situation. It's true, but you have to also take that with a pinch of salt because a lot of women's sports not only suck, but they haven't been around for a while. Like the women's NBA absolutely sucks, but it shows when you get a star involved how the numbers can go up. And I think the more time we get exposure to it, and the longer it goes on for, we get more stars in these retrospective sports. It's going to be fine, not retrospective, in these perspective sports. We're gonna see them rise up. Like it's a lot of these women's sports are very early in the game, so we got to give them time. You know, I slept through the entire card and woke up for the co-main. That's disappointing because you missed. That was the worst case scenario. Um, I just had a sausage, egg, and cheese, and ripped a real nasty one. Thanks for sharing, bro. That will definitely affect your digestive system. Mark Henry versus Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane fucks him up, obviously. Mark Henry is insanely strong, but I could see him getting kicked in the fucking head. I personally believe Shavkat is overrated. He gets hit a lot and was almost submitted by Ian Gary. He did go in there with an injury, though. Shavkat, for me, is very balanced and well-rounded. He's long. He won't be intimidated going in there against Islam, and that's the key thing. We need like Michael Morales would go in there against Islam Makhachev, and you wouldn't have any fear. The problem is with a lot of Islam Makhachev fights is because of the whole Dagestani thing, people go in there having already kind of feel like they've lost. And that's a big problem. They tend to react to Islam rather than press him, which is why that first Volk fight was so important in kind of judging Islam Makhachev's entire career. Because he's the only person who was like, fuck this, I'm amazing too. I can imply my game on you. And we saw what nearly happened. So we need somebody who's going to come in there and do that. Women's World Cup generated around $256 million, and the Men's World Cup generated around $4 billion. So there's that, people. But the Men's World Cup has been around for almost a century. I would say 256 million is a lot higher than I would have expected. I don't mind MMA. I really don't. I can't handle watching someone get hit so hard they begin to seize and then someone keeps hitting them. The thing is, yeah, it's actually less brutal than boxing is, in my opinion, because that's what the referee's there for. Usually when a fighter looks like they're out of it, a referee will jump in more times than not. We do get situations where the ref's a bit late on the scene, but it doesn't, by and large, fights get stopped when they're supposed to. Women got rights in the 1950s, so yeah, it will take time for dishwashers to make it big. Fucking hell, bro. I wanted JDM to win. I'm tired of Islam's style. I want to see more Conor McGregor, John Jones, and that's the real thing that we lost last night. It's a reminder that those types of fighter at the peak of their game are going to be hard to stop. But we still got hope. Like I said, a lot of people are crashing out going, fuck, Islam's going to dominate welterweight now. I saw enough for Michael Morales to think that could be very, very competitive. What he did to Sean Brady was very, very impressive. You men need to come up with a new fucking insult. Women in the kitchen doing dishes is so, don't tempt them, Tiff. They will come up with plenty. I would have hit a 10 leg if I didn't accidentally pick GM3. Oh, fuck it. That is sickening. I've done that before as well, where I've literally been cheering for a fighter, being like, yeah, yeah. Then I've gone to go and collect my money and realize I clicked the wrong thing. It's only happened once or twice. GSP versus Cyril Gane. Oh, Cyril Gane's massive, bro. Michael Morales is the only one that could go out guns blazing trying to rip his head off. The other one is Ilia Topuria at 55. And in 170 he has more chances than most. I think Ilia Topuria gets fucking dismantled at 170 by Islam. We get a Valentina Whaley type situation. And I think Topuria is very skilled on the ground. I won No Chill's channel allegedly. You need to catch. I saw that post as well. Apparently you and Argenti get co-ownership here. I noticed how you didn't bring that up. Imagine trying to run a channel with that guy. Islam is just Khabib with microplastics in the drinking water. So you think that comes off as an advantage, yeah? Tony Ferguson had a chance to be a champion. Did he really though? Tony Ferguson is incredibly dumb. That's what No Chill basically said, that if JDM loses, he's given up his channel. That's what he said. But yeah, looking at the Michael Morales situation, what I like about him, he seems to have a very high IQ. I like the fact that he kept his stance low against Brady, and he's long enough to cause that kind of problem where he can keep his takedown defense is something like 90%. He's got 90% takedown defense. And he's strong as fuck. He looks massive for welterweight. He would go in there against Islam and look bigger, in my opinion, which is hard to do. So, yeah, I saw that. Who bets on their own channel? It's not going to happen. Women went from filling... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Women went from filling washing machines with clothes to filling washing machines with themselves and selling the pics online. I mean, yeah. Dagestanis are too good. How you doing, PS3? I mean, we've only got one Dagestani champion right now. It's not the end of the world. I mean, you know, some of them have lost. Is it true that I will make sure to upload at least 4 times a year? Yeah, those seasonal uploads, yeah. How many babies does it take to paint a house? Fucking hell. Is this a throwing babies off the wall thing? Do you like One Piece? I love One Piece. Incredibly long, though, and too much filler. But I've got a Luffy tattoo, like, somewhere here. Where is it? It's like... It's hard to see because my camera is no longer 1080p. Look what Volk did, and he weighs less than Ilya. Ilya walks up, but this is the problem we've got now because Makhachev is now filled out at welterweight. This is going to be a huge problem. I don't think... I'm saying Michael Morales could beat him, but you'd still have Islam as the favorite in that fight. Depends on how hard you throw them. I saw that coming. Tiff, it wasn't much of a bet, more of a retirement via depression. It was like a pre-depression belt. He was predicting future depression and then making a situation from that. And you men buy it and eat it up. So who is the actual fool here? What do we eat up? What do we buy it and eat up? Oh, you mean OnlyFans? I've never been on OnlyFans in my entire life. Never been on OnlyFans. I can say that honestly. The pause there didn't really help my case. I mean, both are fools. Who sells their dignity online for small cash? To be honest, yeah, I understand why they do it. If men are stupid enough to pay for that shit, then that's more on us than them. Did anyone see a juiced up Conor Benn beating Chris Eubank? I did see it. It was a masterclass. And I made my money from it. I'm a big Chris Eubank Jr. Fan. And he's making a lot of excuses now. But to be fair to him, he made a lot of money from it. So that Jack Catterall KO was brutal. It was nasty. OnlyFans is just online prostitution. Well, it depends on how you view prostitution, isn't it? It's the looky, no touchy thing. If anything, it's even more... So my camera lost pixels because I had to update my restream. And I'm doing a little bit of an experiment now. I basically had to pay triple the amount to jump from 720 to 1080. And I'm like, I'm quite ugly anyway. So do you really need to see me in high definition? I don't think so. So I'm trying out the slightly cheaper package to see if it makes any difference to my channel. Islam versus Sanji. I haven't seen Sanji's takedown defense, so I'm not sure. Shout out to Blackfoot. You miss a lot of comments. I have to, or we're going to be here all day. Oh, yeah, he said that women... Oh, yeah, no, I read that out. I did read that one out. This fucker misses everything. I don't miss everything. I missed mostly. I missed most of it, not everything. I haven't been in OnlyFans because it's too expensive. I don't even know how much it costs. I've got no idea. I've got an AI clip of women's MMA fighters loading dishes into a dishwasher in the octagon. You should definitely upload that. That won't piss people off. I feel bad for Eubank. 36, but he can still crack for an almost 40-year-old. I don't feel bad for him at all. He's never gone for world titles when he should have done. And he's made a lot of money in his career. So shout out to him, man. At the end of the day, he's 1-1 against Ben. I say leave it there. I would retire if I was him. He's got kids on the way, you know. He's taken a little bit of damage in his last few. I would say just step out now. Frankie, you are not ugly. Thank you very much. I was reaching a little bit there. I could be uglier. I can see why birth rates are so low because of the shit these days. Do you mean days? Weston, you don't ban for stupid shit, only when necessary. I mean, yeah, I mostly agree with that. I don't know, though, exactly what's going on. How you doing, McChuggins? Nice to see you, sir. Welcome to the channel. I'm pooping. Brilliant. We did a poll once of how many people were on the toilet while they were watching these streams, and it was amazingly high. It was depressingly high. I hope those robot women come out soon. I need those rust buckets to become my... Jesus Christ. You would definitely be first in queue. I fully believe that. There's nothing wrong with being autistic, McChuggins. We're all a little bit autistic. I did 2 French braids today. I look like a bloody Swede. You're going to get the chat going again, you know. You're asking for trouble making these kind of comments. Oi, Frankie, take your mind back. How long did you have to wait for your driving license to come through? Couple days. I think I got it on the same day. He needs to learn how to jab from Billy Joe. He should just reach out to him for training. Imagine those two in a training camp. Those two genuinely hate each other. By the way, if you guys could please like the fucking stream, another reminder, please. I'd really appreciate it. We've got 29 in here and 20 likes. Just give that a little love tap. I'd really appreciate it. I'm beautiful, by the way. We know you are, bro. Nobody's denying that. I mean, some people might deny that. What did I do? I'm just saying. I know what this community's like. You look like my dick. Wow, you must have a really nice dick, bro. My night shift as a broke bastard is going to start. Thanks, guys, for the fun stream. You're very welcome, Adolfo. I'm not sure how fun it's been so far, but we're here. We're doing our best. You know what? What can actually make a huge difference? Instead of buying a new camera, but it's not the camera. I've got a really good camera, but the streaming service only allows me to stream at 720 now. I used to stream at 1080, but the fact that people are noticing the difference means that I might have to upgrade. Get that sausage out of your mouth. I don't have any sausages. I don't have any sausages in my mouth now. I don't do that on camera. I picked Islam to win after a competitive fight, but Islam was straight up his daddy. He was. I do give JDM a lot of credit for being able to survive on the ground and to at least stay defensive. But I feel like he spent most of his training camp doing that and just hoping he'd have long enough on the feet to beat him up. But the leg kicks were really, really effective. I give a lot of credit to Islam. He did a great job. He fucked his leg up, made it hard for him to stand on his favored side, and then took him down at exactly the right moments. Fair enough. Really, fuck. I've been waiting 2 months for this BS. What about passport? For my Irish, because I've got an Irish passport. So I got it in about a week. But if you're getting a British passport, mate, you could be waiting for the rest of your life. Massachusetts is the worst state to pronounce. It is. Massachusetts. Would you eat a soggy biscuit if you were starving? I can't stand wet bread. Soggy biscuits are a British staple, mate. Watch your fucking mouth. Look into the 3-point lighting technique, though. It can make even 720 look professional. Mate, the last thing I need to do is light up my entire face. Because then I won't be allowed to call anyone ugly again, which I enjoy very, very much. I'd rather die than eat both of those. Looks like today, Irish boy was cock riding Aussie. Which Irish boy are you referring to? I remember when 480p was the highest I could see on the hub when I was a kid. I was still going crazy with it. You make do with what you can. It's like how back in the day, yeah, that like when you had like dial-up internet, yes, I'm that old, where it was like 4 kilobytes a second, you would have to wait a solid hour for a picture to download to get that nut off. So you fuckers should be grateful for what you've got as young men. Do you think Ilya believes in his tweets? I think he has to. For me, that fight is now further away from happening than ever. Because if Ilya goes up to 170, which I don't think he's stupid enough to do after watching that, he's going to get squished. And Islam's not going to go back down to 155. So I think they're going to talk shit at each other for as long as it takes. And then they'll talk about how they ducked each other. And all that shit is going to go on. I tried sleeping, but I shouldn't. Big Boss, try the ocean sounds. Or even better, go on YouTube and find just rainfall sounds. I've been using it lately, and I've been having the best deep sleeps I've ever had. I wish the time there was no restrictions to grooming. Hope that if law Switzerland doesn't come to Hope that if law doesn't come to Switzerland. That was barely a sentence, mate. The fuckwits need the faith. You mean we need the faith that Islam is going to be toppled? I've still got faith. We've got Michael Morales. We've got Shavkat. We've got people that can get it done. That list is getting smaller and smaller, but he looked fucking fantastic at welterweight, and I'm not even gonna fucking even try and lie. Black cherry cake it will be then. I don't want to give my info just to watch some titties for free. VPN, sir. Invest in a VPN. That's how you deal with it. Man, that LimeWire was legendary back in the day. I could get one off anytime. Yeah, LimeWire was goated for that. There was somebody looking out for our balls, even back in the day. That's what I love about the male gender. People taking their time to make sure that we can get our rocks off. Shout out to our whole fucking gender. Rain on the roof. Rain on the roof is nice. And you can get a video like that on YouTube. I just prefer the general rainfall, or even like with light stormy sounds. I kind of like that. Can I get a shout out to my friend Arman? Shout out to you, Rishi, as well. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day, sir. How are you guys watching Corn back on the Sloss internet days? You get it done, mate. Even if you got a video set, like I did used to watch porn when I was in my teens. I haven't watched so for a very, very long time because now, I don't need it. But what you would do is you would set a video at the start of the day. You'd pop off to 9th grade or year 9, as we would call it. And then when you get home, some of it would be downloaded. What would you say the price of spuds right now is in your area? I think it's like £3, something like that. Maybe less, £2. I don't shop. How you doing, Nacho? What's good, brother? What was your debt, Nacho? Yeah, you gotta have your ways. You gotta have your ways. Tiff, your channel should be about your art. You've got talent. I would lean into the crocheting thing as well. VHS corn as well was a thing. But hiding VHS tapes from your family is a difficult proposition, because once that gets caught, you're cooked. I've taken fatter shits in a bin that make more noise. I don't understand. Is that, are you, what? Are you coming at me? I don't really understand that one. I got smashed up and down the card. Western was a bad night at the office. I made 550 last night, but I had 6 losing weeks in a row, so I needed it. I went on a 10 card winning streak, and then on a 6 card losing streak. So this one is me back in the win column. So even though I was disgusted at the results and hated every second of watching certain people win, my bank account at least is a little bit healthier. Are you old enough to have been cracking one off to magazines like a pilgrim? Nah, I was never quite that young, that old. Or I'm not that old. I was dial-up internet old. Frankie, I'm texting a girl I'm interested in, and I refer to the mixed person as a half-breed. She hasn't texted back for a couple of hours. Could that be the reason? Yeah, half-breed's never good, mate. Mixed is the way you should have gone with that one. You've probably fumbled that. Never mind, there's plenty of fish in the sea. How could you have done that on a family computer without getting caught? I didn't have a family computer. I had my own computer, which I had to go and work in a flower shop to pay for. The grind, sir. Frankie, shout your boy out to give me some subs. Shout out Miss Dr. Eggman. If we can get him live streaming, I bet it will be the most fucked up time the internet has ever seen. I had a bet with Nacho about Chevy Whaley. Fair enough. Betting on Whaley was always a tricky concept. And I love Whaley, but it felt like an easy pick for me. He must wear the Chevy pick for a week. Oh, that's not too bad. I used to buy DVDs and play vintage porn in the MH Treehouse. You got to do what you got to do. There is nothing worse than being caught knocking one out. And that's one of the most embarrassing stories I can ever tell. Not against you. Fair play, man. I mean, I have people coming at me all the time. Tapiria's coming. Tapiria's not going up to 170. He would be very, very stupid to do so. By the way, guys, do click on the poll. Do like and subscribe if you're not. I'd really appreciate it. Is Whaley going down to reclaim his belt from Dern, or stays? Whaley's definitely going to go back down. The path back to Shevchenko is just going to end badly. I've seen enough to know that she doesn't have a chance against her. Go back down and beat the fuck out of Dern, and then become a 3-time champion. Because then she would destroy Mackenzie Dern. So it would come. So she could solidify herself. I mean, she already is. as the greatest women's strawweight of all time, and that's all she's ever going to achieve, which is more than most achieve. Are you Afghani, bro? No. Tapura is not coming. He'll never be a champ at 170. I agree. I'm from Ireland, but I grew up in Southwest London, hence the accent. Was it one of those old Livono ThinkPads, or was it a really old, like a Gateway or an Apple desktop? It was just a general PC, just a Windows PC. Windows 95. I'd low-key start going live, but I'm afraid people can't handle me being base. But that's the thing. You set the rules on your own channel. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Bees, no way. The internet is a cruel and cold place. I typically have thick skin, but I paint and crochet and shit as like a private thing just for me, you know. Well, when you whip those out, I'm sure my reaction was perfectly normal. I handled that really well. But she's white herself and attractive too. I don't know. Wait, who are we talking about? Do you agree most of the British people are racist? Absolutely not. I would say it's only about 50%. I'm joking. It's way less than that. If you talk about like actively racist, then we all are. You're probably right. I mean, if you're talking about actively racist, then it's less than 50%. But people who are active in their minds, 100% for sure. I feel like Tapiri is destined to be Islam. He's not. That fight's not going to happen now. Who was the mixed person, though? What you mean? What? You mean the person who they were... I'm way behind on the chat. I need to catch up. He said his dicks is tiny. Nice to see you, tiny bitch. How you doing, Rock? Women ironically ruined gaming. I don't think they have. You have tiny dick energy. But I've got big dick reality. So... Japan is the OG gooner. Yeah, Japan brought gooning into the stratosphere, to be fair. Tell me if this looks stupid or not before I go outside in public. If what looks stupid? If I'm assuming you're right into Tapiri here, moves up to 170. His giant balls are stupid. I think he has giant balls. I don't think he's dumb enough to do that. I think he'll see that and he'll say, I'm better off staying at 155. And there are some real problems with that he's got a 155 to deal with before the Islam. I think Islam retires before the Ilya fight happens. Because I think we get maybe 2 more fights from Islam. He solidifies himself as potentially in the GOAT conversation, and then he fucking bounces. Do you think your ancestry traces back to the Saxons or the Celts? The Celts, definitely. I'm Irish, bro. I was also on a big gambling win streak and now on a huge loss streak. It happens, man. It's part of the game. I've literally done 10 weeks in a row, then 10 weeks losing, and then it goes back and forth. You laughed at me for sure, but I didn't laugh. I was more just like, I was totally caught off guard. I was not expecting that, especially when the hot dog came out. If you were watching, you know what I mean. I saw one Japanese hentai where the dude just ended up raping his mom over and over again. That's the problem I have with hentai. I've never been a watcher of it, but it basically allows you to do whatever the fuck you want, which is a very scary proposition. And that's the issue that I've always had with the Japanese. They mix sex and violence way too liberally, in my opinion. It gets fucking dark. It's so fascinating to see guys like Islam and Hamzat just make champions look helpless on the ground. I'm not saying it's fun, but it's like, it feels unreal sometimes. And I'm with you, Cayman. I blame the people who lost those fights, not the people who did it. Like, Jack is a BJJ black belt. I mean, black belts aren't really worth what they stand for these days because they're quite easy to get. But he's definitely legit on the ground. There's only one king of the jungle, and it's the notorious Conor McGregor. It's a shame that he's cooked. See how many men hate women playing video games. I don't think that's true. I think women have been very, very very welcome in the space. And Paradox is confirming that. I don't have a problem with girls gaming. There's nothing wrong with women playing video games, but they shouldn't be able to vote. Damn. It's like that was a taking with one and then like giving with one and taking away with the other. Frankie looks like he could be casted in the movie Twilight with his sick haircut. I actually haven't got a haircut. It's just that my fringe is coming back and people are starting to realize that I don't have a weird hairline. I just don't have a fringe or wasn't using a fringe, you weirdos. Islam is building a village in the mountains right now. He knows that World War III is coming soon. It's definitely on the horizon. Frankenstein wouldn't bother with your tiny cock. Well, I'm not offering it to you, Rock, so I don't know why you're bringing this up. It was never on offer for you, and it's not tiny. I'll keep banging on that drum. Honestly, I'm having a fucking awful day, and I'm in an awful mood because of it. Are you in the middle of that walk right now? Haaland is a Judas. By the way, shout out to the Republic of Ireland for getting to a World Cup qualifier. Shout out to the boys. If Islam retires without fighting Tapuria and Tapuria retires undefeated, it will be a huge knock on Islam's legacy running from Ilya. He's definitely not running from Ilya. He's definitely not. I just think the fight doesn't make that much sense right now. Wait, so if this Saxons and Celts, what does that make the Welsh? The Welsh have a hard, it's a rough one with the Welsh. They're the most underappreciated in our little island. I can beat Islam. I only need 30 years of training, and if Islam is 77 years old, he probably still beats you. Tiff, sorry to hear that. Pour yourself a nice glass of wine and relax. It's a very sexist thing to say, but there's merit to it. I don't support women fighting. I love their fights, but not in sports. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine. I think women's MMA fights have been much better over the last year, and I've actually been less resentful of women's MMA. I saw you're in the middle of shooting Malcolm in the middle of reboot. Congratulations. I wish I was. What football club do you support? I support Newcastle United. It's been a very, very confusing season this year, I'll tell you that. I beat it to AI. Oh, God. Is AI porn a thing already? What the fuck is based? What the fuck is that? Based is basically when you have an opinion and you don't falter from it no matter how much backlash you might get. It doesn't matter what the opinion is. It's about sticking to your guns and saying it with chest. That's what being based is. And it's usually the unpopular thing that you're saying, or the thing that might get you the most heat. Women voted Kamala because they wanted to see what it would be like to have the first female US president. Sounds pretty fucking stupid. I'm going to stay away from that one. I was a big fan of Islam and Prates going into these fights, but Jack and Leon are my boys now. Now I'm conflicted. Leon lost it for me after the Bilal thing. I disowned him after that. Welsh can't play sports. I mean, they were decent at rugby for a little while. Male feminists are just sterilized. Sterilize the rules. Dudes. Oh, okay. I'm definitely not a feminist. This is the most sexist chat that I've ever seen. You haven't even seen what it can get like. This is mild. Where's Juice Man tonight? I'm assuming he's bathing in his money. Because he had some really good picks last night, from what I remember. Do you think Merlin was a Celt wizard like he was portrayed in the 2005 King Arthur? I haven't seen King Arthur. Gay AI. Why did I say gay? AI porn is bad because I saw bad and just immediately jumped to gay. Not that I think that AI porn is bad. Support Rule 34 artists. They make original shit. Guy is literally named Abdullah talking about sexism. I mean, people from that part of the world can be not sexist, right? So if someone says based tiff, what the fuck does that mean? It's a compliment. It means you stand on base. Geordie's a prat. Waldemar is a rat. Newcastle is piss. Gordon is incredibly mid. I can't really deny that at the moment, Beefcake. But we're doing very well in the Champions League, so at least we've got that. He is tiny cock based. I don't have a tiny cock. I don't! Stop saying that. Love your content, dude. Might subscribe. Shout out to you, Beefcake. Appreciate having you here, man. It's a weird one tonight, but I feel like I'm saying that every fucking night. Sam, bro, you were judging me because my name is Arabic. Yes, Sam. What's with the prejudice, bro? I mean, Sam does believe that race mixing is an abhorrent crime, so I'm not surprised that he feels that way. Japan had their first female prime minister, and she said she was considering letting America put their nukes in Japan to deter China. Japan is afraid of China at the moment, which is a very funny turn of history. Chev goes up to fight Kayla at the White House and retires. It's the only option left for her. The Natalia Silva fight, I think she beats Natalia Silva and then just ruins her. In the same way that Alex Pereira ruined Poliana Viana. How weird. Okay, thanks for explaining. No worries. Happy to do so. They call her the Iron Lady. She's giving the middle finger to China for the Gooners. Ireland has a female president as well now, which is going to be interesting. I condone not drinking. Drinking bad, right, Wesley? Drinking is definitely bad. I'm glad I don't drink anymore. Come on, Frankie. How is Ilya less challenging than a 39-year-old US man who's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, and Islam is keen on fighting him next? This is what the reason why Islam is calling for Kamaru Usman is because they have the same management team. It's the only reason why. They want to get their boys paid. That's it. That's the reason why he's not bringing up Michael Morales. I don't think Islam's scared of anyone. Japan used to have less women's rights. That's why I like them. Right. What women's rights didn't they have? I think I'm allowed to have a bad day like everyone else in the world. Of course you are. No one's going to begrudge you that. But Weston is a professional. Not going to lie. I know you probably don't, but most guys who like Asians like them because they're used to the tiny ones. No, it just comes down to, I mean, by tiny ones, do you mean like, I don't understand that comment. I like, it's more for me, yeah, because culturally I find them more traditional in terms of how they see gender dynamics. That's part of it. But also as well, yeah, I'm not like a very tall person. I'm only 5'7". So I like to feel like I'm significantly taller than somebody else in a relationship. That's what I prefer. But it is what it is. It has nothing to do with having a tiny sausage, mate. Subscribe. Do you live every day, mate? I go live basically every 2 days. But I appreciate the subscription, bro. You seem like a real one. So welcome to the community. Frankie, just embrace your teeness. I don't really mind. If it was true, I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's not exactly like a fucking baby's arm holding an apple, but it's all good. Do you believe in God? I believe in a creator. As a D1 Gooner, I confirm this. Race mixing is one of the biggest crimes one could commit. Muhammad Ali had it right. I don't think Muhammad Ali ever said that. He might have been alluding to it. All his talking is boring. Thoughts on the Eubank and Ben fight? It was a decent scrap, but it was ultimately disappointing because it wasn't competitive, and that's what we need. I'm glad that it's over though, and that Ben can move on to other things. Because I've actually come to quite like Ben since the first fight happened. I think he's actually come across a lot better than he used to as just an angry little midget. Frankie, I drank my girlfriend's juices 10 hours ago. Good for you, bro. Where you at? I'm in Cambridgeshire. Step by step, I will become the champion. The pirate is here. Shout out to you, Ryder. Frankie, tell us how to get wisdom. Frankie, tell us how to get women. Share some wisdom. I think the easiest piece of advice I can give is don't put the pussy on a pedestal and just treat women like actual human beings to begin with. And then when you get what you want, go back to being a cunt. I'm joking. I'm not joking. We Asian are the best. Yes, you are. For real. It's depressing to see one of Muhammad Ali's grandchildren is literally white. Race traitor daughter. God damn, Sam. You don't hold back, do you? Frankie likes the traditional women. He can come on and take his day out on. That's absolutely not true. I think having gender roles are important. I think all this confusion is creating problems for relationships. I genuinely do. I think a man should know his role and a woman should know their role, and I think they should decide that before they get into anything serious. It can be whatever it is, but it has to be made. I did have sex with a Vietnamese. It was her first time trying some big things. People forget how exciting the Islam versus Kamaru fight was before the Leon Edwards head kick. I'm still down to see that. I'm not down to see that. Kamaru's been too inactive, and he lost twice to Leon Edwards, which has aged horribly. He beat Buckley, which is obviously a really good win, but he's not been active enough for me. And it's another free legacy fight that we're giving Islam. If Islam wants to solidify himself, he needs to take the bull by the horns and fight a Shavkat or fight a Morales. That's what he needs to do. Because then it will become undeniable. Because when people pick through his CV, and it's going to make Islam fans very, very angry, but people are going to say, that guy was old, that guy was washed, that guy was on a losing streak, that guy wasn't that good anymore. If he grabs the bull by the horns right now and says, I'm going to fight Michael Morales, and he does it in the next 3-4 months, nobody is going to be able to talk shit to him anymore. Please don't call us the N-word. I never do that. How you doing, Huge Tiger? Now, why was I timed out again, bro? I've got no idea why you were timed out. Who timed out Dr. Eggman? Asian women are too much for my liking, too clingy. It depends on where they're from. Like Vietnamese women, for example, are fucking terrifying. Vietnamese women will stab you in the dark. They want to know where you are, what you're doing. They will dominate every aspect of your life. Whereas women from other parts of Asia are not quite like that. What you want, yeah, is a woman that knows that she's punching up. That's really helpful. Game is game. Game is the game. 100%. Just be confident and be unashamed of who you are. Don't lie about what you are. And yeah, just treat them. When I say treat them like human beings, what I mean is don't treat them like they're some kind of different species, because that's where men fuck up. It's like they're thinking about the end result more than they are thinking about what's going on in front of them, and that's a big problem. Sam, we've all seen porn, mate. Why are you lying? Yeah, we all have. 100%. Anyone who claims they haven't is definitely lying. Yellow Teeth Gina, aka Giuliano Drinks Jutnut. Ducknut. How you doing, Juice Man? Juice Man, I assume you're having a very good day. You made a lot of money yesterday, I'm assuming. Alexander Emelianenko, any take? Do you mean the guy who got poisoned? What's your favorite thing about being married to a Chinese? Nothing at the moment. Absolutely nothing. I'm not really going to get into that. Good point. It's not me. Eubank should have never accepted the rematch. It was a great story already. He absolutely shouldn't. But the thing is, though, he probably got paid 15 to 20 million for it. Why not? And you can always make excuses afterwards, which he did. So fuck it. Fuck, I didn't even notice Eggman get timed out. Dr. Eggman got removed from mod. I'm doing a mod. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. I'm doing like a mod cleansing thing at the moment where I'm working out who's fucking with my channel, because one of my mods definitely is. How you doing, Tyler Betts, by the way? Eubank needed a check. Shout out to Tyler Betts' channel. Really good MMA channel. Give the guy a shout. Vietnamese women, do they shave? I mean, I don't know about all of them, but from what I've experienced, mostly, yeah. Nobody timed out Eggman. He was probably typing mad comments. Yeah, Eggman, if you were still in the chat, then you weren't timed out. How you doing, Raze? What's good, man? So I put him in the corner to think about what he's done. Fair enough. I wasn't typing anything crazy, and I still got timed out, you cunt. Well, it wasn't me. Eggman, if you type something mad, YouTube, when you say you got timed out, did you get kicked out and you have to come back in? Because then that was a mod. Guys, I will have sex with the guy with the comment below me. Wow. Okay. 10,000, they don't shave, but their shit is bland without the hair. I think you're talking about the one person that you got with. Who do you think is going to win the Prem? I think it's going to be Manchester City. I think Arsenal will bottle it because that's what they do, and that's what I'm praying for. I know far too many Arsenal fans, and I don't think I could stomach that. Glad to see Makachev get the win. I'm glad somebody is. I'm not thrilled about it. But as I've said multiple times, I don't hate Islam. What about Thailand women? My friend went and they said they don't get pregnant. Well, most of them are there to certainly if you go to certain places. They're probably using contraception and stuff. So yeah. They definitely need like sexual health education over there, because STDs are fucking rife over there, which is you should go over there and enjoy the partying, but don't really fuck anything because you'll find yourself in trouble. I told you the vast majority of banned accounts are on me, but always for good reason, in my opinion. Yeah, I've already discussed that already. I got a parlay on the under 48.5 and the Islam decision. Nice one. That decision looked a little bit hairy for a while. Being unhinged is the best. Makes life spicy. Eggman is handsome. Are you Eggman? Eggman is necessary. You definitely are Eggman. 10,000. Are you the most disgusting man in the chat? Definitely not. Arsenal going to win the double. No, they're not. They're going to win nothing. And you heard it here first because they are bottlers. Sicky, no monkey. How you doing, Colin Feeney? Islam is on my Mount Rushmore now. He is for me as well. For me, he takes 4th spot. I don't even know if that's the real Juice Man. It might not be. It might not be. Islam fights like a bitch. I don't think he does, man. I don't think he does. I think he did exactly what was necessary. He tried to stand on the feet with JDM in the 3rd round and got touched up a little bit and went back to what works. I can't get Discord, Ty. Otherwise, I would have had it lit. Juice Man, you made a lot of money last night, right? He said they were called ladyboys, but is that just another way of saying tomboys? Now you're just trolling. The stuff that goes on with Thailand with certain, it's fucked up. A lot of families sell their sons into the slave trade and pump them full of drugs. Arsenal slap Newcastle home and away this season. You didn't slap anyone. And by the way, Beefcake, you were so lucky in that match, it was unbelievable. Gabriel should have been sent off for punching Voltamata in the face and then diving like a prime Buffon to stop that goal. You guys get away with everything. Arsenal, mate. Fuck your shitty, salty club and your fucking degenerate, dumbass fans. Islam versus JDM reaction. Fantastic performance. Fantastic. I'm disappointed with the result, but it's kind of how I didn't see it going that dominantly. I thought JDM would have more time on the feet, but Islam game planned perfectly. Worked the leg to make him unstable on his feet, took him down when he needed to, and wet blanketed. Well, he didn't really wet blanket. He went for submissions, to be fair to him. But he did exactly what he needed to do. And for me, that's thrust him into the conversation. I said it before the fight. I'm not going to take it away now. He's on GOAT Mountain for me as number 4. Have you ever seen an Amish in person? Nah, I'm in the UK, so I've never seen an Amish in person. I fucked a Russian person. Well done. Well done to you. Isn't your girlfriend Russian? Sam Islam. Although I wanted JDM to win, but my money went on Islam. I didn't bet outright on Islam, but I bet for it to go to the 3rd round to close out my parlay. You told me last night you bet on JDM. Yeah, I put 250 down on JDM, but then I ended up pulling it out about an hour and a half before I got like cold feet. But I also made a lot of money on the Ben fight, and I had 2 parlays on. One of them lost because of Wellmaker, and then the other one was I did a 4-leg parlay of, I keep forgetting it. It was Aaron Blanchfield, Gregory Rodriguez, Carlos Prates, and then that fight to go to the 3rd round, the main event to go to the 3rd round. I put $50 on and made 250. So it was all right. Voltamaris doesn't start for Arsenal youth team. Mate, he's better than Gyökeres. Shut your fucking mouth. Don't be coming to me when you got fucking Gyökeres, mate. He's fucking dog shit. Yes, my girlfriend is Russian, and she's a superior white woman too. I'm sure she'll make up for the drag factor that you're putting her through. Sunderland finish above Newcastle this season. Probably. Newcastle are not going to have a good time in the league. We can't get our away form sorted out. But we're doing well enough in the Champions League. I think we'll finish top half, and then we'll have a decent cup run, and I think that will be good enough. I do not have ideas above my station, sir. We have proven time and time again that when we're in the Champions League, we don't have a big enough squad to handle the league, and that is proven to be the case. And our away form is absolutely dog shit. I think Sunderland will drop a little bit, though. But I think they'll finish top 8 as well. And I think Newcastle will squeak into the top half. Things are still very, very tight, and it's a very, very competitive league. Like there's a team in the middle of the Premier League that if they go on a run, they could find themselves competing for Champions League places again. We had the exact same thing happen to us last season, Beefcake. We had a terrible start to the season, and then we just went on a run and started picking things up. So I'm not ruling us out. I still think Eddie Howe's the guy, and I still think we're going to have a good season. Should I post myself with a goatee? Yes. How you doing, Ankino? What's good, man? If we can see the North Star, can Australia? That's not how anything works, mate. Of course they can. If Man United ends up in the top 4, English Premier League is cooked. They won't. I think they'll finish in the top 6 because they're out of they're out of the League Cup and they only play once a week. But Amorim is ultimately a dumb coach. But I think their forward line will get them enough wins this season where they'll be competitive. Gyökeres scores more than the entire Newcastle front line combined. Mark my words, mate. No, he won't. And if he does, it's because he's in a better team. He definitely won't. True. Howe is great. I'd like him for England manager. Tuchel seems to be doing a really good job. I don't give a fuck about international football. I'd rather keep Howe for as long as we can. The only way I'd want to get rid of Howe is if we is if we were looking like we were going to get relegated. That's the only reason. If we were in the bottom half of the table, I still wouldn't care. I'd want to keep him around. I believe in longevity, and I think he's a very good coach for us. Sesko is a fraud. Sesko is terrible. Voltamada is not a prolific goal scorer. He's not. That's not what we bought him for. We need Wissa to come back, and then we need to get somebody. We need to get somebody that can actually lead the front line. I want to go to Thailand and see what these tomboys. They're not tomboys, mate. They're ladyboys. And the thing is, you can spot them a mile off. You hear all these stories from people about, oh yeah, a ladyboy tricked me and stuff. Those are people that have never been to Thailand. If you can't see very clearly what what a guy with a dick is, regardless of whether they're small and wearing a dress or not, then you're a dumbass. You can't fake Adam's apples, or you can't. Well, you can a little bit. You can't fake voices, and there are like 40 things you can spot. Sesko is piss. Voltamada is 10 times the player. I agree. Sesko is shit. But Man United has been a bit of a shit show for ages, so it's not that surprising. Okay, how come they can't see some certain stars like the Orion's belt? I don't know about that, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I stated that like I knew what I was talking about, but I guess I don't. I don't know that much about astrology. What's up with the chat's obsession with transgender women? Beefcake, you have no idea. You have no idea. Because I've mentioned that I've been to Thailand a few times, so now I fuck guys in the ass, apparently. It is what it is. I think you should convince me. You have barely any wrinkles. It's like being a spy. I do have the crow's feet coming in a little bit. I am. Are you a transgender man? No. Like and subscribe. Do you remember the old Newcastle player, Georgian Voldemort Ketsbaya? I do remember him. His name was Tamori Ketsbaya, and he was absolute dog shit. But shout out to him. He did a job for about 2 or 3 games. Just posted myself with the goatee, Frankie. Rate me out of 10. No gay shit. You look like Dylan Dennis in that photo. And I'm not rating you out of 10. I did that before and I regretted it. But it's a nice photo and you are not an ugly gentleman. Is that good enough for you? Good evening, ma'am. How you doing, Morodechi Bartal? How you doing, sir? Where are you from? And what are you doing here? Just oh well, you're very handsome. I don't think that's the case. I think I'm like with anyone, man. Like, some people will be feeling the kids, some people won't. You take the wins when you can get them, and you learn from the losses, and you move on. Are you a Chael Sonnen fan? I am, man. I love Chael Sonnen. He's a bit of a rambling old unk right now. But you've got to love Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen gets like a permanent pass from me. I heard they grab you and try to get you to come with them. Everyone there does that. Women and ladyboys alike. But the thing is, it's like I've said multiple times. When you go to Thailand, ladyboys are very honest about what they are. Because the thing is, they don't want you to find out. They don't want you to be a straight man and then find out that you find out that they've got a dick, and then you're angry and want to beat them up. So they're very honest about what they are there. And women will go as far as to women in Thailand will go as far as to, when you meet them, to grab your hand and try to shove it down their pants so they can prove that they don't have a dick. It's all very fucking forward over there. It sounds like fun, but trust me, it's not. When you go over there, the women are so aggressive that it's actually kind of fucking scary. Crazy how I'm probably going to lose a possible attractive girlfriend because I called someone a half-breed. You knew exactly what you were doing, Sam. Oh, you called somebody else a half-breed, not her. You should have felt out the room first before you dropped that one. Also, Giuliano was laughing last night that he said you have a beluga forehead. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is YouTube for old people? Definitely not. I think you can find what you want in YouTube in general, no matter what age you are. What makes everyone get up in the morning and choose to go on? My kids do that for me. I mean, I'm not a very depressive person anyway. I'm generally quite happy in life. Or content in life is probably a better argument. I have my good days and bad days. What are you into? Can you expand on that question a little bit? Because I don't want to reveal too much. That's a very general question. I don't want to reveal anything that will get me into trouble unnecessarily. You know what I'm saying? By the way, guys, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. We are about 350 subs away from 2K, which is the next target. It's been 2 hours. I asked people to sing 1,000 Miles, but no one takes song requests. Are you doing to sing? Nah, I don't do any of that shit on here. It gets me in more trouble on my channel than it's worth. You should have said matches my beluga core. Yeah, I should have been ready, man. I'll be ready for that next time. Just try shoving her hand on her shit. I won't have to do it personally. It is very aggressive there. I slept with a baddie from work. Not sure it was the smartest decision. I've made that mistake in the past as well. And it is definitely a dumb decision. Do not shit where you eat is an expression for a reason. Hang on a second, boys. Yeah, do not shit where you eat is a real thing. There's no unringing that bell once you make that mistake. I'm like a motor engine. I wake up bricked up and convert my energy into carbs. That sounds like a very good use of your energy, sir. Wait, what? I don't want to be forced to stroke some random Thai woman's cat. If you go over there, especially if you go over to Bangkok, yeah, prepare for that, mate. What is your sexuality? I'm a straight dude. Straight as a fucking arrow. I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay, don't get me wrong. It's just not my flavor. And this is the thing here. If it was, I'd be perfectly honest about that. I wouldn't care. I don't think there's anything wrong with being homosexual. As long as you're not forcing people to do things they don't want. You know, live your life, be happy. Michael, he's a straight Mexican alpha wolf. That's nice. Frankie used to be a gangbanger in Brighton until he got stabbed. When he changed his life around, that's not the reason why I got stabbed, you cunt. Fucking power went out. No, it was I'm using my monitor as a light source. What about with my boss? Oh, you're definitely fucked, mate. Like Pizza Hut. Okay. We've got a Pizza Hut salesman in the chat. Pizza Hut's fallen off massively. Frankie is as straight as a crossbow. Well, that's unnecessary. Oh, so you're a cisgendered heterosexual male. No, I'm just a normal heterosexual male. Spread AIDS. That's one thing you can do if you go to Thailand. Never smart to bang someone from work. Never. Never, never, never. Don't do it. As tempting as it seems. I've done a thing where when I was working in Qatar, I banged like multiple people at work. Because once the cat was out of the bag, I was just like, fuck it. And I just started smashing indiscriminately. And I got known as that guy. How you doing, MMA Powerhouse? What's good, man? Frankie, I have morning wood every day. My girl is always there for me. Well, she's a saint, sir. Because you must be a lot to put up with. You said don't shit where you eat. Yeah. Don't shit where you eat. What's wrong with that? That's the expression. Don't fuck a bitch where you work. Same thing. I stand by that remark. How do you think that Sabatini versus Volk grappling match goes? I think Sabatini would beat him in the grappling match, but I think in MMA, Volk beats the fuck out of him. Oh, cisgendered male is a biological male. See, I'm confused by all these terms. It's just confusing at this point. For fuck's sake. Well, I also fuck where I eat. I bet you fuck anywhere, mate. You dirty dog. Yeah, man. And you notice I use cat out of the bag because, you know, cat, pussy, you know? Pizza Hut, you dummy. I'm not dumb, sir. I'm just a bit slow sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm old, okay? Give me a break. But you like that reference, did you? I had the opportunity to bang my boss, but she wanted rebound from a previous relationship, and I just quit my job. Am I fussy? Different strokes for different folks, mate. Personally, I think the rebound fuck is one of my favorites. Because you get out, you can go, oh, you don't want to continue? Oh, man. And then you get out of it without having to do any of the work. I'm cooked. Whatever, might as well keep doing it. Yeah, you're balls deep now, man. You might as well continue plowing, in my opinion. Don't fuck where you shit. Am I still banned? You were never banned. I dare you to. You dare me to what? Red Ring, nice name, by the way. It's not confusing. You said you aren't a transgender male. You're clearly a cisgendered biological male. Simple. No, I mean the term. Can't I just say that I was born as I am and that I like fucking the opposite sex? Simple. Unk status. Fucking unk. Unk status all day, man. Don't let this face confuse you. Don't let it. Frankie, can you actually fight? I mean, I'm not fucking world class or anything, but I can hold my own. As long as somebody's not absolutely massive, you know, I'll show you that I'm there. I'll put it that way. You'll regret it. I'll put it that way. I don't fight fair. Rebound fuck is a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. It's underrated. It's like the get out of jail free clause before you've committed the crime. It's perfect. So you used to work in a brothel when you were banging all those people where you work. Fuck you. I dare you to search up vote, but the T is the R. No. I used to have a crush on my nanny. I wish she also groomed. Yeah, damn. Back to this grooming. I wish I was banned by somebody. Wow. That's a cold way of saying my channel sucks. Shout out to you. Listen. If any of you are offended by Eggman, don't be. He's our cunt, and we have to tolerate him. Frankie, but you admitted you couldn't fight when Clown punked you. Oh, not this clown. Fuck off, mate. Fuck off, Clown Show. I'm not interested in that anymore. Piss off. Really. I was like, really, I'm like, just piss off. Really, you're just a loser. Stop simping. In fact, I know you are, Clown Show, so just fuck off, mate. Showbiz, it's a kink for me. I'm proud of it. We aren't speaking about your sexuality right now. We know you're heterosexual. We were speaking of your gender. Yes, I was born a male and I remain a male and will always be a male. What if the Undertaker grabbed you? Could you fight him off before he strips you? Definitely not. He's like 6'10". How long have you been doing YouTube for? I don't really do YouTube like that. This is just a fucking. It could be a Clown Show all. I don't care. I'm sick of hearing about Clown Show. We already know what would happen if he and I had verbal fisticuffs. We know it wouldn't go well for him. I've given him the chance. He didn't take it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. Yeah, so YouTube, I've been doing it for about 2 years or so, a little bit longer. But I used to just make like random MMA like prediction videos, and then I started live streaming and doing topic videos, and I've been doing that for about a year and a half, maybe something like that. But I don't do this for money. I just do it for community purposes, and that's it. And then it's kind of blended into talking about any random shit. And apparently, it's kind of like a bit of a rainbow flag channel now as well, because the gay community turn up. We talk about pretty much everything under the sun. Sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's literature, sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's gaming. As somebody has just brought up, it's a little bit of everything. Whatever you guys feel like talking about. And if something's not in my wheelhouse, I don't mind talking about it, but I will plead ignorance almost immediately because I'm not that arrogant. I recognize when my knowledge doesn't match up, but sometimes I'll give something a go. Do you play video games? I do, man. Not as much as I used to, obviously, because I'm old and I've got a life. But I do play video games. Most of the things you see behind me are, in fact, video games. Many of them. And I just realized yesterday that I am 2 games away from owning 800 Switch games, which is really, really fucking pathetic. If the Undertaker stripped me bare, I would be pleading to keep my dignity. Yeah, that's basically would be the end of your options right there, pretty much. I just like to write outrageous things so you can read it out loud. I'm perfectly down for that game. I'll be honest. It is what it is. By the way, guys, another reminder: if you could like the fucking stream and subscribe if you are not already, and please do partake in the poll. We are at 70 votes right now. Let me just see where it's at. So most people are voting for Ilya Tapuria. I find that quite interesting. I love Ilya Tapuria, and I personally don't think it should be that. Fuck this universe and the world, man. We definitely are not the prime timeline, the way things are going. Weston Mass and his gym teacher had a thing in high school. They would sneak off during class and hook up, till one day Weston's gym teacher broke it off, and Weston said he sometimes still thinks about him. Well done for getting me to read that entire thing out. Have you ever played a Metal Gear Solid game? I've played all of them. I've played all of them to the end, apart from the third one. For some reason, I couldn't get into it. Being in the jungle and all that, I just couldn't fuck with it. But Frankie, what's your favorite sci-fi game and movie? My favorite sci-fi movie is Blade Runner, and the game Blade Runner is actually pretty fucking amazing as well. Best sci-fi games. I'm gonna have to really think about this one because I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I would go for does Portal 2 count? I don't think so. I'd probably go with Portal 2. Half-Life, Half-Life's up there. I'm old school, man. I liked Outer Wilds. I've been trying to get it. BioShock's amazing as well. I've been trying to get into No Man's Sky lately as well. So yeah, I'd probably go with all-time favorite. I'd probably say Portal 2 if that counts, but Half-Life's up there for me as well. BioShock, the original one, was amazing. Do you think Raiden was a bottom? I have no idea. Dead Space is a decent game. I did like the Dead Space remake, but I didn't finish it. Mass Effect I never got into either. I've got the game, I've just never played it. I've got all three of them. I've heard Halo was good, yeah. I'm not really on. Oh, Time Splitters is fucking fantastic, man. In fact, I've got like a Retroid Pocket 5, and I was playing Time Splitters 2 like a couple of months ago. It still holds up. Time Splitters was fantastic. And of course, I've got the original on GameCube still. Makes me really laugh when the British celebrate how they won World War II. Now you got to stick to whatever victories you can. We haven't had very many fucking W's in recent history, you know. Mr. Egg, but heterosexuals are certainly the most interesting specimens to study and examine. I'm assuming you are gay, Michael Knight. Well, we've got a couple of gay subscribers up in here, and I'm all for that. You do you, sir. Man, the new GTA is the only hope I've really got to blow up as a creator. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to for real. Anything else is just background noise. If you get on it early, you can probably do quite well. But I think everyone and their fucking mum is going to be streaming that shit. But if you do it in a unique and your personality is what's going to shine through at the end. If you're pretty good at the game and can get creative about it, and you got a bit of a personality, um, you can do very very well on YouTube. Oh, Juicy X was fantastic as well. All the modding you can do and shit. Do a live with Wade Concept. Yeah, I don't think he could handle me. Brother, you back? How was your day? It's been pretty shit, to be honest. I had to spend a lot of it. We've got assessments at the university this week, so I've been making up assessment papers for most of my Sunday, and I didn't really sleep as well as I would have liked to. I had to take my son to ice skating this morning, so I've been thriving on about 2 hours sleep. So I'm looking forward to going to sleep, hopefully at a reasonable hour tonight, but we'll see how it goes. I am a homosexual. That is quite true. I don't know why that came across to me. Michael Nightwolf, have you met Western Mass Climber? Westy's definitely not gay. Have you been in the military? Mate, the fact that you would ask me that is crazy. Have you bought Christmas gifts? Not yet. Not yet. I'll probably do it in the next couple of weeks. The thing is, yeah, all the kids in my family, they're very flippant on what they want on what they want. So it's like I'd rather wait until closer than spend a lot of money on something and then they go, no man, I don't really want that. I am a busy father. Yeah, it's really late. It's like 10:30 at night, but I usually stream until about 11 p.m. Get to sleep for about 11:30. Wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I'm ready to go. It's the way my system works. I kind of have to function on 7 hours sleep. 6 to 7 is enough for me. It's probably going to lead to an earlier death than I'd like, but yeah. Cisgenders are also extremely interesting to study as they lead to understanding the psychology behind mass breeding. I mean, that's just a fancy way of saying that people who are born in their natural genders just fucking make children. I don't think it's all that interesting. I don't think it's something that really needs to be studied either, Michael Nightwolf. But fair play to you, however you enjoy, spending your time. My cheeks clap when I run down the stairs. So in public, I tend to walk at a moderate pace. Okay. Thanks for that fucking image, mate. I have managed to avoid seeing this stupid 6'7" meme for as long as possible. Frankie could probably write 6'7" on a blank piece of paper and gift it to some kids these days, and they will probably go absolutely crazy and love it. Do you know what? From a clown show nut rider, that means a lot coming from you. I'm glad you've come up for air to get his dick out of your mouth. So well done to you. You silly fucking sausage. Favorite Nintendo Switch game? Um, my favorite Nintendo Switch game is probably a cross-play. My favorite game of all time is probably Persona 5 Royale. And even though I've played that on many different platforms, I appreciate the fact that I can play it on handheld. So I would say that, or maybe Stardew Valley, because I put a lot of hours into both. Doth thou appreciate how I doth state things? Certainly. I bought Switch 2 games. I'm very anti buying Switch 2 games. I only buy Switch 2 games that are A, very good, and B, have the full game on the cartridge, which there aren't that many of. So I think I only own about 8 or 9 Switch games at the moment, Switch 2 games at the moment. They're kind of just over my shoulder on a little rack there. If you see just over my shoulder there. And they don't really hold their value because no one wants to be paying $70 for a fucking game. I still don't understand 6'7". I miss the days when it was just 69 and boobs on a calculator. I completely agree with you, bro. Those were the good old days. Love to you, Frankie, brother. All right, Z1. We have a peaceful accord until you start getting out of pocket again. I think we should study every specimen, Michael. They are all interesting things. Morales is a beast. Need to see his grappling tested. I love Baklava. I completely agree. He, to me, stands as probably the best chance we've got. I'd much rather see him fight Islam than Ilya at this point. Ilya, Ilya at um, Ilya at 170 gets fucking pancaked. There's no other way of saying it. Favorite Donkey Kong game? Donkey Kong 64. I do like Donkey Kong Country as well. Donkey Kong Country 2 is very good in particular. I do like Donkey Kong Country games, but I would say Donkey Kong 64 is one of the most underrated. I think Donkey Kong 64 is kind of on a level with any platform on the N64. Do you read manga or watch anime? I do both. I just finished watching Monster, which was really good. Bad MMA math. Is there a Dreamcast? Yeah, I've got a nice Dreamcast library as well. I've got about 50 Dreamcast games, something like that. I feel sorry for the Dreamcast because I was one of those stupid people who bought one. Why do you find Nintendo games to be your favorite? Aren't you a PC? I didn't say Nintendo games are my favorite. My favorite games are like Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil 2, Persona. I like the Final Fantasy original games as well. So I'd say I'm probably more of a PlayStation head, but I love Nintendo as a. I don't just have Nintendo titles. I've got like a big PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 library as well. Same for the homosexuals to Michael. We should study things at this point. Study all things. If JDM and Drickus would have won, I'd have almost 15K in my betting account. All off of $200. Now I have like $3. I put everything into both of them thinking I was onto something and both ended my parlay. Yeah, I stayed away from both of them for that reason. I just couldn't do it. So I bet on both of them going over 3 rounds, which they inevitably did. One of my friends thought that Ilya was a Swedish food. It does sound like that. How you doing, Kloss, man? If none of you have seen Kloss, subscribe to his channel. He is basically Dominic Reyes. A Dominic Reyes who, I don't know if you can fight. Maybe you can. I don't want to put that out there. What's up? How you doing, DRG Gorilla? What's good, my man? Dr. Ed, the homosexual hath taught the cisgendered heterosexual much of what they already know. They have learned their life skills from us. I don't think that's the case. Do you think Ian Gary beats Bilal? He will fight Islam next for the title. They could build the fight and Conor would corner Ian. No, he fucking wouldn't. No Irish people are proud of Ian Gary. I'm sorry to say that. I do think Ian Gary does beat Bilal Muhammad, but I think it's going to be close. I see it being like 3 rounds to 2. I think that's going to be a tough fight for Ian Gary. Bilal's not shit. Yeah, Resident Evil's amazing. You should try the Total War series. Again, I've got it, but I just couldn't get into it. Have you watched? I watched all of Full Metal Alchemist. It's amazing. Shenmue is dog shit. Shenmue is an awful game. Have you watched Chainsaw Man? I haven't. Gotta bounce. Thanks for welcoming me into the community. Beefcake, you're more than welcome, bro. Hope you will remain subscribed and continue to hang out because you've been a highlight of today. So shout out to you, bro. Chump, thank you very much. How could you defend yourself against a booty bandit if they grabbed both your arms and ankles? I would hope that I would use everything at my disposal to get out of that situation, but it is what it is. There are no true heterosexual people. That is incorrect. Please, I just don't know what it is to vote. No, I'm not doing it. My fucking YouTube, my Google search history is fucked up enough as it is. All the games you played, which had the best combat? The first thing I thought of was Sifu, but I'm not sure. It depends on what you favor, innit? The Silent Hill 2 remake is so fucking good. One of my favorite games ever. The soundtrack is 10 out of 10. Silent Hill 2 remake is... The original games were fantastic. I kind of favored the Resident Evil ones over them because Silent Hill 2 always felt a little bit foggy to me. And I felt like they got away with not making things too detailed as a result of that. But I'm not ducking your MMA comments, I swear to God, man. If you could repeat some of them, I'd really appreciate it. Because I'm literally trying to read everything. What up, Dookie Gang? How you doing, Gerald R? I had Soul Calibur 2 and 3. Again, with me, I'm not really into fighting games. I never really enjoyed them. I own a lot of fighting games, but I'm not really into them that hard. I've got Soul Calibur 1 and 2 on Dreamcast. I've still got the original copies of those, but I was never really a big fan. Joking. Oh, fuck. You're joking. Thank fuck. I thought I was losing my touch again there. I do miss a lot of fucking chats. It's unavoidable. What the fuck is heterosexual? Some kind of dinosaur. Sounds like a National Geography thing we're all talking about. It is starting to go that way. We are becoming an endangered species, to be fair. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I thought the combat in the Mad Max game was top tier. I would love to confirm or deny that, but I haven't played it. I don't think I even own that game. He doesn't do crack, but he's 10,000 Bs has been very honest about the fact that he does dabble in the odd substance every now and then, and shout out to him for that. My favorite game of all time, opinion on Leeds. You mean as a team or as a place? There's loads of blonde women there, I guess. Loads of tarts, which is never really a bad thing. Opinion on a team, they're fine. Bye, gang. See you later, big boss. Good to see you, brother. Mafia Lost Haven. I played it a little bit. It is Mafia games are very underrated. They are good. They are very good. Frankie, mod me back, you cunt. You betrayed me. No, I will mod you back in future when I deem it necessary, sir. I'm going to be unmodding a lot of people because I think I've got, but mind you, it's starting to even out a little bit. Like I'm looking at my chat now, and most of the people who are chatting right now aren't mods. No crack for me. Yeah, you can't be fucking with the big boys like crack and heroin, but I think everything else is fair enough. I think if you're on like coke or you're on like, fun drugs, you're all right. But it's those like sleeping under a bridge drug that you've got to avoid. So like your meths, your cracks, those kind of avoid the dirty drugs is what I'm saying. Best game ever for me is God of War Ragnarok, followed by Assassin's Creed 2. The only Assassin's Creed game I really got into was, or not really into it too much, I think was Origins. I've never really been a big Assassin's Creed guy either. And with God of War, I'm not really a big fan of the series just because, the combat system's amazing and the story's amazing. It's just that at times, I feel like I'm a passenger for those games. There's way too many cutscenes and there's too many like tapping of buttons as opposed to doing like actual things. So that's what kind of rubs me up the wrong way about those games. But I understand why people love them. More get more gays equals more women for us. Win-win. Yeah, you say that, but don't think we're at that stage yet. But I love your enthusiasm. I love your enthusiasm. I like being groomed by women. Like I said, not all grooming is bad. Sometimes it has positive results. I thought Red Dead 2 had an exceptional fighting system. It was dynamic. I thought GTA 5 was a huge downgrade from GTA 4 in terms of fighting. I agree with you about that 100%. Graphically, and the things you can do in GTA 4, 5 are amazing. And I have not completed GTA 4. I've got it on Steam Deck, which it's not optimized for properly. So I've been waiting for them to upgrade GTA 4 on Steam Deck so it can be used properly, and then I'm going to get on it. I guess I could just play it on a fucking old console, but I'm probably not going to do that. I need for it to be optimized on Steam Deck. Best game for me is Zelda Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is amazing. The only thing I didn't like about it was I thought they were very brave using the system that they did, but that whole getting it done in a certain amount of time thing, it always felt like I was rushing to get things done. Whereas with Ocarina of Time, I felt like you had so much, time to just explore what you wanted to do. And that's why I appreciate Ocarina of Time a bit more. But Zelda Majora's Mask is amazing. We love Sunderland, we do. Burlo, you're barking up the wrong tree. I am a Newcastle fan, but I've never lived in Newcastle, so I don't give a single fuck about Sunderland. I don't wish bad on them. Best game I've ever played might be Portal 2, in my opinion. I also believe the Resident Evil 2 remake is up there. I replayed that game so many times, S ranked it and everything. I love Resident Evil 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm talking about the original one as well. Amazing game, and the remake really did the job. I wasn't as huge a fan of the remake as I was about. I do think I thought the remake was amazing, but it wasn't like I still compare. I still think it's comparable to the original. I don't like the time limit on Majora's Mask. Exactly what Tyler Betts is saying. Irish gangs play a big role in GTA 4. I did not fucking. I need to play GTA 4, man. Everyone always brings up GTA 4 in here, and I've never given it the time that it deserves. Clearly, LSD spiritually or coke on the odd weekend. To be honest, I'm high on life. I'm addicted to fire big time, though. I really need to poke your brain about this one because you've brought this up a lot of times. I'm still here, just ears, no eyes. Shout out to you, Kerry, Rob's neighbor, and shout out to your channel. And congratulations on hitting 1,000 subs recently, man. You really deserve it. So if you want to boost your boy Rob's neighbor even higher over 1,000, give the man a sub. He's an absolute legit G and knows more about he's forgotten more about moto parts and the automotive industry than some people of you have than some people of you know now. Fuck the mags. Fair enough. I understand why you feel that way. You are not even on my radar. I don't give a fuck about Sunderland, mate. Yeah, Zelda games are partly about a chilled environment and exploring for secret stuff. That's what I enjoyed about it. Come to Newcastle for a scrap, lad. For the last time, Nathan, no. Jesus loves you. God bless. Shout out to you. What's the best game to movie adaptation? Oh, I would say Warriors off the top of my head. Because Warriors is very underrated. Um, uh, Someone put fucking Tomb Raider and Last of Us there, even though they were games originally. That's fucking pathetic. Um, Hang on a second. I would probably the first thing that came to mind was what did I say originally? Fucking hell, my brain is fucked. Whatever, yeah, Warriors. Warriors. I'll probably go with what that was the first thing I thought of, so I'm gonna go with that. Unless you can come up with some suggestions that would change my mind. I'm gonna go Warriors. Great movie as well, by the way. Bro, my dream video game is like the perfect MMORPG, like the ultimate world you never want to log out of. So you're thinking of like a Ready Player One type situation. We will get there eventually. Scarface is a very underrated game as well. Scarface is very underrated. That game got a lot of shit, but it's actually very good. The King Kong game. The King Kong game. I've never played the King Kong game, but I heard it was absolute dog shit. Yeah, Scarface was apparently was actually very good. Cat in the Hat game. Most movie to video games just haven't worked. If we're being honest, it doesn't do it. King Kong was rated, the video game. Was it? I've never played it. I guess it did get some good reviews. Ilya needs to move to 170 for the title fight. Nah, I don't think he should. I think what we saw last night, he'd just get fucking squashed. I think Michael Morales is the obvious choice right now. What he did to Sean Brady was disgusting. And we need to think matchup style because there's no point in just feeding Makachev easy blanket wins. And I don't think Morales would be an easy blanket win. Young, strong, big, good takedown defense. I think he's the best chance at welterweight right now. Him or Shavkat. Ilya should stay at 155 and fight there because there are plenty of animals in that division that he needs to deal with. I remember playing when I was young, but I couldn't get past the first. So was King Kong really, really hard? Scarface, the film was very good. How he descends into madness but destroyed himself because he had morals. I don't know if he had morals. I don't really see Tony Montana as a pagan of virtue. Do you know what I mean? That's not really how I judge him. Frankie, I'm eating tacos, which is better than entire British food. No, it's not. And have you ever tried a breakfast taco, sir? How you doing, Tone? What's good, man? How did your Tone? I need to start coming to you for betting advice because I did make a lot of money last night, but I need to get consistency back in my life. How did you do on bets yesterday? Hopefully you didn't squander that money that Argenti paid you. Because I tend to do that with my betting winnings. I get a bit bored and I just make more bets and then I end up losing it. It's all in the game. And Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 is legendary for its revolutionary swinging mechanics. Some of the Spider-Man games are fantastic. They just are. There's just a nice feeling of just like you could literally just. I mean, I would sometimes go on the game and just swing around town. I hope nobody clips that and fucks up the context on that one. Yeah, he didn't blow the car up. He had kids in it. Then the gang. Oh yeah, that's kind of true actually. I mean, but not killing kids doesn't mean that you're like highly morally. I mean, he was morally fucked up about everything else. They're not even chips, they're fries, but you call them chips. What do you call lay chips? We call chips chips, and we call what you call chips crisps, which is what they are. I won all bets except a Wellmaker. Yeah, Wellmaker fucked up one of my parlays as well. It could have been it could have been a £1,000 night if Wellmaker had won. But it is what it is. I had a pretty good card. I ended the losing streak. I can't complain. And considering how devastated I was about the actual results, making some money on the night was definitely a softening blow. Well, I'm back again and I just ate some black pussy and I had a nice cream pie. What kind of cream? Oh, that kind of cream pie. Fair enough. Congratulations on being a daddy, I guess. Good luck with that problem. That's what too much UK food does to you. No, I'm not having it. We invented we didn't invent French fries, but if anything, you just say they're fries. The chips thing is a little bit mad. How are you doing, Charity Duckett? Where are you from and what's your story? I'm not going to be on for too much longer. I'll be here for probably about another 15 minutes. Be quiet. No, it's quiet, not quite. Learn to spell, you cunt. Speaking of swinging, what's your thoughts on the swinger culture? I think it's a mistake waiting to happen. I think if you're a man that can watch your own woman get pegged, or not watch your woman, but let your woman get pegged out by somebody else, something's wrong for you. Something's wrong with you. Just cheat like a normal man. I don't have a boyfriend, Josh Gee. I know you wish I was gay. Hey man, how you been? It's been a while. How you doing, James W? What's good, man? I haven't seen you in here for a good week, man. I hope you're all right. Nice to have you back on the channel, as always. Warriors, Ned Kelly, Scarface, best films ever. I think that era of film was the best. I love the whole like Big Trouble in Little China era, you know, Escape from New York. I love the 80s in general. I was born in the 80s, so maybe that's what it is. And then I'd go back and watch everything, and it was just amazing. Are you a black belt? Nah, mate. I'm a white belt. I'm not even a white belt. Do you have Asperger's? I don't know. Don't think so, but I've never been tested. It's possible. It's highly possible. There's nothing wrong with that either, though. Like I said, you are handsome, but I understand your sexuality. Yeah, like I said, each to their own, Michael. Do you know what I mean? Like what you like, be happy with who you are, embrace who you are. Do you like Labyrinth? Labyrinth was amazing as well. The one movie that I didn't quite that I need to rewatch again is Princess Bride, because that has like a massive cult following, and a lot of people see that as one of the best movies that happened in that era. But I only saw it once, and I never really quite understood it. I never quite understood the hype. Total Recall is the best movie I've seen from that. Bruv, Commando is better than Total Recall, mate. Get to the chopper. Oh no, that was Predator. No, it's I'm airsick. How was your birthday? It was shit, mate. Everyone forgot about it, which was kind of perfect for me because now I've got guilt in my back pocket. I originally had Morales tie, but I said Morales was going to beat Sean Brady yesterday, and everyone fucking gunned me for that. I said Morales was going to win. I honor what you are as well. I appreciate that, Michael. Nothing but respect to you, sir, and thank you for sharing your views and your opinions in the channel. You're always welcome. Actually, no, that's a lie. It was just the best action movie I've seen, but I've seen tons of other amazing movies. Like Das Boot was amazing as well, and Sorcerer. But I think I don't. Sorcerer doesn't ring a bell. Who's your favorite current movie director? Wow, that is a really tough question. It's not really a director's era, is it? It's not really a movie era. That's a hard question to answer. Princess Bride is in my top 5. See what I mean? There's Prince Briders out there a lot. We are all dead. We just don't know it yet. When the time comes, I think I'm gonna embrace it. Oh no, my birthday was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I watched Princess Bride in German for my German class in high school. I imagine it must have been even funnier with German accents. No, my birthday was ages ago. It was at the end of October. Whaley let me down for 5K. Yeah, I didn't know. I love Whaley, and I've made a lot of money betting on Whaley, but I did not go near that one. I couldn't bring myself to bet against her because I love her so much, but I couldn't bet for her either. I appreciate your support. Oh, sorry. I just got back from Liverpool Comic Con. I had quite a few photo ops done. Shout out to that, man. What is Comic Con like these days? I've never been to one, but is it like a mixture of everything, or is it only comic book generated? And I know that sounds like a stupid question, but from what I understand of it, there's a bit of a mix of things going on, like gaming's part of it as well. I appreciate your support as well, genuinely. Some of my earlier rhetoric was obviously me joking, my sense of humor. No, that's appreciated around here, man. We appreciate people that are comfortable in their own skin and have a good sense of humor and don't get too offended. Do you like the Riddick movies? Pitch Black was way better than Chronicles of Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick, I thought was a little bit of a letdown. Christopher Nolan or Robert Eggers? I'd probably go with Robert Eggers. The thing is that Christopher Nolan's amazing, but I find his movies to be too overly convoluted at times. I think he does it just to seem overly, intellectual and smart, and it comes across as just fucking irritating. Do you bet on UFC fights? I do. I made about £550 yesterday, but I'd lost like 6 weeks in a row, so I needed a win. You should watch Akira Kurosaka's epic Ran. It's the best samurai movie ever made. It took him so long to make, he went blind before it was finished. The colors are amazing. Let me get that down. Take a picture of that right now. I bet on my girl Val. It was the smart move. Yeah, it was funny. I like Scorpios as a Libra myself. We do get along quite well. When is the next big UFC card? I mean, next week's all right. We've got Ian Gary and Bilal Mohammed, which is kind of big. I used to love the old Sky in the 90s when you could watch the European channels. Love to watch Star Trek in German. How was your walk, Tiff? I hope you are feeling much better now. Hard to offend me. Also, Europeans are quite blunt with their sense of humor. It's how we are. Sometimes we hide behind the whole banter thing when we just use it as an excuse to be a bit offensive, but we say how we feel. By the way, if you guys wouldn't mind throwing up a like on the stream, we've got 41 people in here. We've got about 30 likes, which I appreciate every single one of them. But it would be nice to get a couple more before the stream ends. I remember watching the original Ben and you. Yeah, so do I, Andrew Hill. I was a big fan of. I was more of a fan of Nigel Benn at the time because I thought Eubank was a little bit too zesty for my taste. But as I grew older, I learned to appreciate how funny he was a lot more. How you doing, Face IO? What's good, my man? What are these polls? I have zero idea. So basically, there was a fight last night in the UFC. Islam Makhachev won. Fortunately for some, unfortunately for others. Um, and now we're kind of discussing who he should potentially fight next. So if you're not a UFC fan, it will mean absolutely fuck all to you. I've decided I'm going to bake a pie. What kind? Speaking of Karasaka, I played Ghost of Tsushima in black and white Kurosawa mode with the Japanese dialogue. Epic experience. Ghost of Tsushima is another game. I got about a quarter of the way through and then just got bored or gave up, more than likely. But yeah, it's a game that I do need to go back to. Boxing was great back then. It was. You get the odd good matchup every now and then. Like the first Conor Benn and Eubank fight was sensational. It was very unskilled, but it was fun to watch. Sometimes fun is better than skillful. Matt Betts won 100K on UFC. Unless I'm seeing receipts, then I'm not believing that. But fair play to him if he did. People that bet big are going to win big sometimes, but they're also going to lose big sometimes. Did you ever watch Wonderworks from BBC? I never did. I've never heard of Matty Betts. They made a second one, but it's a girl. Yeah, Ghost of Yoitai. I've heard it's not very good, or it's not as good. I've heard it was a little bit of a step down. Are you a fan of the Yakuza games? I'm not a huge fan, but I appreciate them for what they are. They are very, very, very wacky. Unapologetically wacky. So I do enjoy the odd Yakuza game. I always Starsmoth. So this is the thing. Whenever anything comes from a specific country, I never dub. I always subtitle it and watch it in the original language because that's the one. That's obviously the one it was supposed to be portrayed in. And sometimes voiceovers are sorry, dubs really ruin the mood of something. I find Pisces get too offended with us Capricorns. They're too sensitive with us. That's interesting. I'm not too big on the whole star sign thing, if I'm perfectly honest. But a lot of people seem to think there's a lot of validity to it. So you're got a smelly fanny. Excellent fucking grammar there, cunt. You should learn how to speak properly before you start insulting people. Do you get fatigued by superhero media? Yeah, I was fatigued by it a long time ago. I enjoyed it when it first started because I was a lot younger back then, but I don't give a fuck about superhero movies now. I never watch any of them, and they're all woke nonsense. And Bubble Boy. I never saw Bubble Boy either. Have you ever bet on the Grand National? And my horses always fall over on the first edge. Yeah, that's that. I have bet on horses very, very briefly. It's good to bet on horses occasionally when you just do a one-off bet where you've got somebody who's like you've got a horse that's like evens, and every other horse is like, heavily an underdog because they're more likely to come off than certain bets of that ilk are. So they're good for like a quick double your money sometimes. But I don't fuck with that anymore. Islam said the hardest part of his training was what? Welcome to the 40 club. Smelly, fanny, stank, mitten, beer. Okay, Josh Gee, fair enough. I like that you're hanging around just to throw really dumb, unintelligible sounds at me. Shout out to you. Thank you for adding to my fucking watch hours, you stupid cunt. Chewiwi. Frankie, what is your favorite Netflix movie written by our junkie? I don't know. I don't know any of them. I haven't checked his IDMD page. I'm not getting involved in all that shit. The island I can't remember right now. It was what was it? The island. I can't remember right now. What was it called on the tip of my tongue? I'm not sure which. Yeah, that's not ringing any bells for me. How has your day been so far? Fucking shit, mate. I spent most of it working. What's your guilty pleasure GTA clone? I've got two options, a fun one. Saints Row, Sleeping Dogs is 100% the one for me. Sleeping Dogs needs to be needs to be remade in my opinion. There was something very very magical about that game. I know zodiacs well. I believe there is a validity with the zodiac signs. Pisces is quite sensitive and deeply empathic. But then the problem with the zodiac signs, Nightwolf, is they're very, very general. And then when things don't fit the mold that star signers go for, they say stuff like, what's your moon sign? What's your water sign? And then they use that to justify categorizing your personality. Tiff did not go live last night. Islam said the hardest part of his training camp was No Nut November. He's had no nut fucking decade, mate. You know what game is great? Project Zomboid, but I call it Project Zimbabwe. Never heard of that one either. I think he's saying his mum's got a smelly fanny. Oh, is that what it is? I'm sorry, man. There's things you can take for that, you know. Why is it when you say Ireland and Ireland, they both sound the same? Because because I'm British and that's we do it to well, I sound British. I am Irish, but you should pronounce it Ireland, but it's effort. So I'll just go Ireland. It's quicker. An angry British Scorpio. I'm actually Irish, bro. There are people who believe in zodiac signs, but not in God. Laugh my fucking ass off. Like I said, each to their own. Each to their own. I don't shit on anyone's beliefs really. I think it's as long as you're not harming anyone and just being disrespectful for the sake of it, and I'm all for this. Okay, good Tiff. I thought I'd miss it. We're all looking forward to Tiff's first solo stream. Oh, I'm in Newfoundland, kind of Irish. That kind of qualifies. How you doing, Mushbag Live? Do you have a YouTube channel by any chance? Because that sounds like a YouTube channel name. Have you ever played Hogwarts Legacy? Again, that's one that's on my wish list to play. I've played about an hour into it and I was bored out of my fucking mind. So I dropped it and never picked it up again. But I've heard on good authority that it's a really good, amazing game. Um, and it's one of those games that when I retire, which will be in about 5 years, there's going to be a backlog of shit to go through. So Hogwarts Legacy will be on the list. Oh, you're Irish. That's cool. I like the Irish. Everyone loves the Irish. We're very unoffensive people, apart from when we're simping and being too liberal, of which I am none of those things. I say it like Ireland. Yeah, you've got to kind of force yourself to pronounce it properly. My dad's Scottish, my mum's Welsh, and I'm English, and my sister's married an Irishman, for fuck's sake. That sounds like the beginning of a joke. Do you trap small people? By trap, what do you mean? Okay, shout out to Mushbag. What do you do? What is your YouTube channel? What does it consist of? I was about to shout you out there, but before I do that, at least give us a little bit of an overview of what your channel does, mate. That'd be appreciated. I have issues pronouncing iron, and I feel like a hillbilly every time I pronounce it. There are a few words that fuck me up. You know, like multiplication. I really struggle to just roll that word off. Multiplication. I feel like I've really got to force myself to pronounce that. It's weird. I'm Native American, and many of us love Irish people. Well, we're two very, 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 like likable fucking groups. Do you know what I mean? Kung Fu Chaos Goated. Kung Fu Chaos. Man, Tyler, you're coming out with some of the wildest ones today, man. I haven't heard of that either. What's your research subject? So I looked into mostly dystopian literature because I like the fact that it kind of links, kind of what's the word? My brain isn't working right now. But yeah, I kind of like looking into literature that's based around where we're heading as a society. And it's what got me interested in literature in the first place. Frankly, I don't play a lot of video games. Why does everyone care about GTA 6? I don't give a fuck about it, really. I'm going to play it. Is Guinness the greatest beer of all time? It's not beer, is it? It's what's the expression? It's stout. And it might be the greatest stout of all time. I just tagged you in a short, actually. Did you? Shout out to you, man. I'll give it a look. And also, yeah, what I'll do is I will subscribe to you now, so I make sure that I get that tag. Hang on a second. Give me a brief moment, sir. Hang on a sec. And make sure you subscribe to Ty Bets as well. Ty Bets is a fucking G. Thanks for that mushbag. I appreciate it, man. I'll check your stuff out. Love the fucking stash, by the way, bro. Shout out to you. Guinness is the best. I fucking love Guinness. Man said how. What do you mean how? He's like saying how. How? I'm a sexy, overdeveloped, middle-aged American straight male that likes musicals and drinks cola. The only reason I'm not going to tell you what my PhD is because it leads me further and further to a doxing, which I'm not going to do. Because if you know specifically what it is, it would be much easier for you to find me. And that opens me to a wider list of problems that I don't really want to get into. I'm trying to keep my work life and my YouTube life separate, and it's getting harder and harder by the day. Because I've probably done enough to myself to what do you call it? To dox myself already, which I don't really mind because my job is kind of a flippant experience to me anyway. But yeah, I do have a family, so baking a lattice peach pie. That sounds fucking glorious. Yeah, I'm really trying hard to not dox myself. But however, like I've said, I'm more than happy to. It's like I said, somebody does this look infected? Uh-oh. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night tonight because I've realized it is very late. It's almost 11:30. I'm gonna have to head to bed. I've got work in the morning. But shout out to everyone who turned up tonight. It's been a really nice Sunday by and large. I feel like the community is really starting to come together now. How you doing, Anthony Palmer? Shout out to you, man. Shut the fuck up, you fucking fucker. All right, calm down. Frankie, I might not be consistently here too, and I've been dealing with health issues and I haven't been able to train. I'm almost done with them, and I'm gonna have far less free time. Shama, fair enough, bro. It's really been a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully you can turn up whenever you have time. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you for being as much of a part of the community as you have, and you're always welcome here anytime. I only have a master's in sports psychology, PhD. My PhD year was one of the hardest years of my life, because I had to work at the time as well, and it was fucking rough. But anyway, shout out to all of you guys. It's been really a good experience again, as it often is. I'll most likely be back on Tuesday. If I have Tuesday, I might be back tomorrow potentially if I don't have too rough of a day. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate that, Shamron. I'm glad that you're recovering, mate. Honestly, shout out to you. If there's anyone in the in who's live right now that you'd like to give a little shout out to, use the next couple of seconds to shout out your channels, shout out anyone who's live. I know the Northern King is live, and I know that Combat Casual is live, and he's been on live for fucking ages, so he definitely deserves your support. He's nearly hit 1,000 subscribers as well, which he really fully deserves. So shout out to Combat Casual. I'm going to throw up his link in the channel. He's got 2 people in there right now, so if you could give him a bit of love, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. I'm like 7 hours behind you. Lucky you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be done for the night. I've got to go. I've got work in the morning, so I should really head to bed now. And it's been a long weekend. I've got no time to relax whatsoever. So this week is gonna be a slog. Anyway, sorry, Lee, I can't listen to Plead. I'm going to bed now. I don't even know what Plead is. Anyway, take it easy, ladies and gents. It's been an absolute pleasure. Have a good night, Tiff. If you're going on tonight, I might pop on for a minute while I'm doing my late night rituals. Shout out to you, Sasmit Shajwat, as well. Thank you for popping in. It's been a pleasure to talk to all of you. And James, welcome back as well. You've definitely been missed. Night, bro, I love you. That's a nice thing to say before I leave. Shout out, guys. And nice to have you in here as well, Michael Nightwolf. It's been a pleasure. Bro, can you do anything but say thank you? Kevin Bradley, if you turned up at the start, in fact, I've probably been saying that all night. Fair play. I'll take that criticism on board. How about fuck off? How about that cunt? This was entertaining. Catch you later. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. And shout out to the chat for making this what it was. Tiff, I'll be looking out for your live streams. Subscribe to Breakfast at Tiffany's if you are a respectful motherfucker. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend wherever you are. Have a great life. I will catch you probably on Tuesday.